So the world basically ended, giving birth to superpowered beings, and these lucky few awaken as professionals to fight monsters, which brings us to today's high school awakening ceremony. Instructor Li Yu calls up the next student Lin Luo. Meet our boy Lin Luo, a transmigrator who is feeling pretty special. He is about to start a whole new era, prepare to be dazzled. Our guy places his hand on the awakening stone, and a massive pillar of light erupts from it. This crowd is totally blown away, sure it is a combat profession. Everyone's shocked that the quiet kid is suddenly a big deal. He is just soaking it all in. His main character moment has arrived. Then the result comes in and he is a priest. Instructor Li Yu announces it, a D-rank support priest. How tragic. As he walks off, the crowd murmurs about what a healer even is. Then someone points out the obvious, only girls awaken as healers. And now he is just surrounded by the label male healer, his soul leaving his body. Some bullies immediately try to comfort him, calling him Lin Mama, but Lin Luo snaps, promising they will bleed out next time they need him. Suddenly the bullies realize he is right, a healer can just not heal you. He walks off, demanding they call him Milk Dad instead, a true power move. Lin Luo mopes about being a D-rank support, a launchpad for cooler people. Suddenly, a voice tells him not to be so down. His buddy Tang Cheng suggests they team up as a tank healer duo. But then another massive light pillar erupts, interrupting the pity party. This whole crowd is blinded, wondering who is being so extra. A silhouette slowly takes shape inside the blinding radiance. It is the school's Ice Queen Lion Yinning, awakening as a spirit frost maiden. And of course, she pulls in a rank profession. Everyone immediately gushes over the school's perfect flower getting a perfect class. Even Lin Luo has to admit she is pretty dazzling as she walks past. This instructor basically offers her a full ride scholarship on the spot. After that, the ceremony is just a string of failures and one guy becoming a cook. Our boy just sighs that it is all fate, a little blue flame on his finger. He finally decides to check his personal attribute panel. Scrolling down, he finds a skill he definitely was not expecting. It is a mutated skill called Skin Bursting Technique, which sounds pleasant. So instead of healing, he just unheals people with extreme prejudice. He cannot unlock new skills yet, but the potential is already terrifying. Then it clicks, his basic healing art must have mutated into this, which means he might be able to mutate all his skills, a total game changer. Lin Luo is already on his phone, thinking this mutation thing is definitely worth a shot. His buddy Tang Cheng asks what is up, and our boy is just casually buying skill books. Turns out Lin Luo's aunt is a high-seas sailor who sends him cash, a detail he forgot to mention. Back at the ceremony, Instructor Li Yu finally calls it a day. She dismisses the entire student body, telling them to go home. Then she gives the standard speech, congrats to the winners, and for the rest, well, life sucks. Lin Luo is already sprinting out the door, claiming he has urgent business. He cannot wait to get home and see what kind of messed up skills he can create. Meanwhile, some classmates pity him for awakening as a lowly priest. A delivery truck is already at his house, prime shipping for the win. He sits down with his new toys, 2 skill scrolls ready for experimentation. He's got recovery art and calmness art, the most basic healer skills imaginable. Lin Luo activates them both, auras flaring as he begins learning. This system shows the 2 arts being processed, and he watches with intense focus, waiting for the results. He gets 2 mutated skills, Blood Fever and Enhanced Pain Technique, which sounds super friendly. Our guy is already piecing together his new combo of pain and suffering. With a totally stable grin, he vows no one will ever treat him like a milkmaid again. Suddenly his phone buzzes. He has been added to a group chat by Instructor Li. He sees the Ice Queen Lion Yinning is in there too, realizing it is for all the new combat awakeners. Instructor Li drops the news in the group chat, exam in 10 days. Lin Luo just smirks, already cooking up some serious chaos. He's ready to redefine healing on a mountain of skulls, very subtle. This kid's ambition is literally towering over the entire city now. Meanwhile, on a totally normal-looking basketball court, Lion Yinning's friend starts poking, asking if she is worried about Lin Luo. This Ice Queen denies it, but her friend's got a built-in lie detector. Her pal lays it out, she is a rank, he is D rank, the class divide is real. And Lion Yinning is just left speechless by this dose of harsh reality. Suddenly, some blonde dude named Yang Haoran slides in to shoot a shot. Apparently he is also in a rank, and everyone thinks they are the perfect power couple. Lion Yinning just shuts him down with ice cold formality, a total rejection. She drags her friend away, leaving him to marinate in his own ego. His face twists, revealing he knows about her crush on Lin Luo and vowing revenge. Elsewhere, Lin Luo has arrived at the Demon Rat Plains, a lovely starter zone. Decked out in a new priest getup, he is already casting some holy-looking pain. Our boy figures this is the perfect spot to level up and test his new support skills. With a glint in his eye, he is ready to get to work. A nearby party is recruiting for a 5-person team to clear the area, and would not you know it, they are desperately shouting for a priest. A woman from the party immediately tries to recruit Lin Luo, offering to protect the little brother. But our boy just turns her down flat. He is a solo act now, thanks. Her armored friend questions the exchange, but she is clearly intrigued by the kid. She explains his composure is rare for a rookie, a sign of true confidence, not arrogance. They head off to hunt, but she is definitely keeping an eye on Lin Luo elsewhere. A different team is getting absolutely wrecked by these demon rats. Lin Luo meanwhile stalks his first solo target from behind a tree. A quick stat check reveals these things are level 2 and can spread a virus. Delightful. He understands why people team up but decides it is time for a field test. With one cast of skin-bursting technique, the rat just pops like a bloody firework. Lin Luo is stunned. A D-rank priest just one-shotted a monster in seconds. Spotting another one, he decides to see if that was just a fluke. This second rat also gets vaporized by his damage overtime curse. And just like that, he gets a level up. The grind is officially on. Checking his stats, he sees he has got 4 attribute points to spend. He dumps them all into his mental attribute to power up his messed up skills. Next on the list, he tries out his enhanced pain technique on an unsuspecting rat. This spell goes off and he waits for the screaming, which never comes. This rat just stares back, completely unfazed by the so-called pain curse. In fact, it is now charging at him, apparently feeling nothing at all. So he just hits the charging rat with his skin-bursting technique and it gets absolutely atomized. Lin Luo realizes the problem. His base damage is so high, the pain spell is totally redundant. With that sorted out, he proceeds to cleanse the entire forest of its rat problem, one pop at a time. All that hard work pays off with a glorious level up to 10, unlocking new skills. Our boy is feeling pretty smug. Hitting level 10 in just 6 days is no small feat. He checks out his skill tree, a whole new world of unholy debuffs waiting to be learned, and the first new skill available is acute gastroenteritis, a truly blessed healing art. Just as he is pondering that, some very aggressive squeaking echoes through the trees. It is the demonized giant rat leader, a level 15 area boss, and it looks ticked off. Lin Luo immediately puts 2 and 2 together. His genocide spree summoned the manager. This boss lunges forward with incredible speed, forcing him into a desperate dodge. Its massive claws swipe right past his face, a seriously close call, but our guy is already on the counterattack, casting his signature curses. He knows his skin-bursting technique ignores defense, making it perfect for this fight. He stacks on blood fever and the pain-deepening technique, and the boss starts screaming. Lin Luo is just amazed. His mutated skills are shredding a boss 5 levels above him. This rat leader is already kneeling in agony while he cackles, completely unaware of the party watching from the bushes. He is already thinking about all the loot he is about to collect. Then a group from the Star Sea Guild steps out, claiming he is poaching on their reserved turf. Surrounded by his dark priest energy, Lin Luo just smirks back, completely unfazed. Lin Luo just chills, whistling while surrounded by a whole guild. This guild leader is busy giving a big speech about the dangerous boss. One of his subordinates is way more concerned about the kid who gave up the kill so easily. Our boy just flashes a peace sign, his staff glowing with some seriously bad vibes. This guild leader puffs his chest out, warning that nobody messes with them. Suddenly, one of his guys clutches his stomach, looking a little green. This poor dude starts screaming that he cannot hold it in anymore, oh no, and he gets launched by a biological explosion from his own backside. His teammates are absolutely horrified, begging their boss not to look. Another guy gags, saying the smell is worse than a poison bomb. While he is distracted, the rat boss lunges right for his throat. Lin Luo just pops in an earbud, enjoying the chaos he orchestrated. He stands up, commenting on what a good time everyone's having. This guild member is down, about to be mauled by the boss, but Lin Luo hits him with the full combo: pain intensification and skin explosion. A massive wave of dark energy just vaporizes everything in the area. In the end, he is the only one standing, having killed the boss and the guild. He happily collects his loot, which includes gear and a skill book. Turns out skill books are a super rare drop, a 1 in 1,000 chance. He checks out a new ring, confirming that equipment and passives cannot be mutated. He's got the virus transmission skill book, a real party starter. This system starts processing his latest terrible idea, and it mutates into Black Death Outbreak, because of course it does. Our boy realizes he just learned how to weaponize the actual plague. He is already scheming how to combo it with pain curses for maximum suffering. After a quick inventory check, he is ready to move on. When suddenly a crack rips through the air right next to him. He realizes it is not just a crack, but a portal to a secret realm. Turns out it is an undiscovered, hard difficulty dungeon perfect for a level 10. This place is apparently a one-shot deal packed with priceless materials. He stands before the ominous red gate, weighing his options. This dungeon's difficulty is set to hard, which is a bit much for a solo run. But getting help means someone could just steal the dungeon from him, no thanks. So he just says screw it and dives right in, because what is the worst that could happen? Just as he enters, another party shows up, fresh off an easy quest. This woman leading them spots the brand new secret realm entrance. Her whole team is buzzing, they just hit the jackpot. But there is a catch: the level cap is 15 and they are all too high to enter. Suddenly a new voice offers 4 million, claiming the dungeon for herself. This party just stares, completely blindsided by the sudden auction. This new lady is gifting the dungeon to her niece, assuming any poor soul inside is already dead. Meanwhile, Lin Luo finds himself in the Scarlet Altar, a cave full of angry lizard people. He gets his mission briefing, kill everything, and immediately knows this is gonna be rough. A quick stat check reveals these level 15 lizards are no joke, with some very personal sniffing habits. Lin Luo realizes these basic mobs are almost as tough as the last boss he fought. This lizards immediately spot him hiding and get ready to charge, hissing like crazy. They lunge forward and he is shocked by how good their senses are. Time to stop them in their tracks, his staff already glowing with bad intentions. He unleashes his signature combo, skin explosion and loose diarrhea, a truly blessed pairing, but the smell is so bad even our boy has to plug his nose in disgust. He decides to retire the poop spell for now since the stench might actually kill him first. Looks like it is time to test out his brand new plague skill instead. Outside, the ant and her personal army are waiting for the VIP to arrive, and it is Lion Yinning showing off a cute glowing cat she found. Her aunt casually offers her the entire secret realm as a birthday present. She's even brought along a full squad of level 15 bodyguards for protection. This whole crew swears to protect Miss Yinning with their lives, very formal. Lion Yinning wanted to party up herself but cannot really refuse this kindness. Her aunt tells her to hurry up and get inside before other families try to claim it, and with a little shove, Lion Yinning is sent tumbling into the dungeon. What a great aunt. Lion Yinning gets caught by her aunt, who is furious the dungeon is already occupied. This aunt just scoffs, assuming some rookie will die soon enough for them to enter, but Lion Yinning is seriously wondering who could have possibly gotten in first. Inside, Lin Luo's brand new plague skill is already taking effect on a lizardman. He has already cleared the first wave, instantly hitting level 12 from the XP. Our boy is thrilled, leveling up twice this fast is a perk of a hard dungeon. He considers his Black Death skill, realizing its true power is contagion, and this enclosed cave packed with monsters is the perfect petri dish for it. Seeing the lizard shaman and the huge crowd, he knows a direct fight is suicide. His new plan is to find one perfect target to start the infection chain. Just then, a unique white lizard leading a patrol catches his eye. A quick stat check shows it is a level 15 elite, tough but weak to magic. That makes it the perfect patient zero for his special kind of treatment. He casts Black Death Outbreak and the dark energy immediately latches on. This elite lizard is completely oblivious as the virus begins to take hold. Its underlings are just confused, asking why their captain suddenly looks constipated. Lin Luo just smirks, watching his little plague bearer rejoin its patrol. This infected lizard stumbles right back towards the main army around the altar. Now all he has to do is sit back and feel the infection spread exponentially. He even notes their total lack of hygiene will speed things up, a real tragedy. Lin Luo unleashes his ultimate plague skill, looking like a proper final boss himself. With a single word, he triggers the chain reaction, explode. A massive shockwave of pure suffering erupts from the ground, instantly vaporizing the entire lizardman army in a flash of light. This kill feed just scrolls and scrolls, racking up insane amounts of XP. He can literally feel his level skyrocketing from the massacre. And just like that, he jumps 4 whole levels to 16 in a single move. Up on the altar, however, a few survivors remain, including a particularly nasty-looking one. This lizard priest seems genuinely confused that anyone is still standing after that. A quick check reveals it is a level 20 Ether Lord, the actual dungeon boss. Lin Luo immediately realizes the problem. This thing can heal, which is a huge pain for his dot build. This boss starts roaring, powering up for a counterattack, but our boy decides to strike while the iron is hot, taking advantage of its plague-ridden state. He stacks on his pain curses and the boss immediately starts screaming its lungs out. A nasty spray of something awful forces him into a quick dodge. He is a little winded, admitting this fight is taking a serious toll on him. With the boss seemingly down, his next move is to clean up the elites and smash the altar. But then the remaining elites start swarming the boss's body, not exactly respectful. They start devouring their fallen leader, fusing into something new and horrifying. Our boy can only watch as they merge into a giant flesh abomination, correctly assessing the situation as really bad. A quick stat check reveals this new flesh golem is a rampage warrior, which is just lovely. This thing flexes, wrapped in chains of pure malice, a real upgrade in the bad day department. Lin Luo is just trying to catch his breath, completely gassed from the last round. He complains that this boss is a melee mage hybrid, which is basically cheating, and he is too tired to cast anything. With a roar, the monster charges, clearly not interested in a fair fight. Our boy barely manages to dodge the incoming strike. He whips out a mana potion, realizing he is running on empty. In a classic gamer move, he starts chugging his drink while the boss is literally breathing down his neck. This monster immediately charges again because nobody respects potion breaks, and he gets absolutely rocked, complaining he barely got a sip in. Now the beast is winding up a blood entanglement attack, which sounds super pleasant. Red energy whips towards him as he scrambles to get away. Finally getting a second, Lin Luo summons his Black Death skill, staff glowing purple. But he aims it at a random lizard corpse on the ground, completely missing the boss. This plague energy sinks into the dead lizard, which starts to change. Meanwhile, the main boss just keeps charging, completely ignoring the weirdness. Lin Luo just smirks, the boss was not the target anyway. As the monster roars, the plague starts spreading to all the other corpses on the floor. Suddenly, the entire altar erupts in a storm of black death, a trap sprung from the dead. He is battered and low on health, but his mana is full, the potion break worked after all. This flesh golem taunts him, saying his skills are useless, but Lin Luo just tells it to take a good look around the room. He reveals the Black Death skill was never for the boss, it was for the corpses. Now he is pouring all his mana into one final, catastrophic spell, basically turning the entire cave floor into a giant, infectious landmine. He triggers Skin Explosion, and all the bodies detonate at once, drenching the boss in a tidal wave of weaponized blood and virus, and the resulting plague storm is more than enough to overwhelm it. This loot drops are insane, instantly boosting him all the way to level 20. He even scores a gold-level staff that lets him summon lizardman minions. His new level 20 skills are wild, including one literally called Alzheimer's Technique. After questioning his life choices, he learns influenza virus instead, the sensible option. With the fight done, it is time to clean up the battlefield for some quick cash. He immediately puts his new lizardman summons to work as a personal mining crew, and his unpaid interns quickly unearth a mysterious, glowing red rune. It is an upgradable demonized rune, the true grand prize of the dungeon. A system message pops up, confirming the secret realm is officially complete. He cashes in on a huge XP bonus and even gets a free resurrection item. Outside, the aunt and her entourage are still waiting impatiently by the gate, just as Lin Luo gets unceremoniously ejected right into their faces. This aunt assumes some loser is bailing out of the dungeon early. Then Lin Luo pops out, looking like he just wrestled a god and won. She immediately lays on the fake sympathy, assuming his whole team got wiped. But Lion Yinning recognizes him instantly, her jaw on the floor. She is worried sick about his injuries, but he just casually drops that he was soloing. Our boy is already focused on the next grind, telling her he is off to sell his loot. As she chases after him, the bodyguards mock his bragging, thinking he is just a liar. Her aunt could not care less about their friendship, ordering her men to just guard the gate. Just then, someone notices the dungeon portal is literally vanishing into thin air, and Lin Luo turns around, realizing what is happening too. This aunt's face says it all. This kid did not quit, he cleared *it all by himself. Lion Yinning finally catches up to him, trying to get his attention. She explains the bodyguards were her aunt's idea and that she totally believes he is a solo god. He brushes it off, but then she asks to team up for the upcoming exam competition. This exam is a huge deal, with team and solo events that can get you into a good college. Lin Luo tries to talk her out of it, saying he is just a D-rank priest, but she is not having it. Finding the whole thing a bit strange, he just agrees so he will not be rude. Later, back at home, he has already sold off the junk loot and is swimming in cash. A quick balance check reveals he made over $500,000, more than his mom's yearly salary. And right on cue, someone's at his door turning the handle. This person at the door is Lin Luo's buddy, who has been wondering where he has been hiding. Instead of answering, Lin Luo just drops a chest full of bronze-level gear on the table. He then lays out his new plan. They are teaming up for the exam to get into a top college. His friend gets a little too emotional, offering to call him daddy, which gets him a swift shove. Elsewhere, Lion Yinning is getting an earful from her father about refusing an important invitation. This guy is livid. She rejected a team-up with the S-class heir of the Dongfeng family. But she stands her ground, insisting her friend Lin Luo is way more impressive. Even her aunt reluctantly agrees, noting that anyone who solos a dungeon must be at least a rank. Her dad absolutely explodes, refusing to believe a D-rank priest is anything but a joke. This aunt calmly points out he is obviously hiding his true strength, so it is a calculated risk. Completely defeated, the father just storms off, telling them to do whatever they want. Exam day finally arrives at the ridiculously huge trial tower. A pink-haired reporter is broadcasting live, hyping up the thousands of new professionals. She explains the tower's insane scale. Just reaching the 20th floor makes you a genius. This broadcast then highlights the top contenders, a trio of S-rank prodigies. Down in the crowd, Lin Luo's friend is getting nervous about their two-man team. And right on cue, Lion Yinning appears, announcing their party is now full. His buddy is just floored that Lin Luo actually got the prettiest girl in class to join them. Watching them from a balcony is some smug-looking guy in fancy robes. It is the Dongfeng heir she rejected, and he is not taking it well at all. Meanwhile, the rejected Dongfeng heir is recruiting a new lackey. He has already done a full background check on the guy, which is not creepy at all. This new kid is justifiably terrified by this level of intense stalking. But Dongfeng offers him a spot and he immediately agrees to follow. He then happily throws his old teammates under the bus. What a pal. With that settled, Dongfeng immediately starts asking about Lion Yinning. He calls her short-sighted for turning him down, a totally normal reaction. Apparently, the only woman worthy of his genius is someone else entirely. Introducing Murong Zuhin, another S-class prodigy with her own agenda. She finds it weird that Lion Yinning teamed up with two randoms. Her own teammates are busy promising to die for her, of course. But she is not here for points, she wants the grand prize artifact. Just then, a massive pillar of light signals the exam is starting. Everyone is about to enter the absolutely ridiculous trial tower. This top contenders are teleported to the first floor, a monster-filled wasteland, and a horde of angry beasts immediately charges right at them. One of the S-rank guys is just thrilled to finally show off. While another prodigy prepares a massive frost attack, she instantly freezes the entire battlefield in a storm of ice. It is Lion Yinning in a new form, telling Lin Luo she will protect him, and he looks so annoyed. This trial tower starts lighting up, one floor at a time. Outside, commentators explain the rules. The faster you climb, the better your score. Someone's already hit the 7th floor, which is moving at a blistering pace. This S-rank prodigies are dominating the top spots as expected. But in third place is Lion Yinning's team, much to everyone's surprise. And her teammate Lin Luo is just chilling in the back, earning him the loser title from the crowd. He plays the helpless priest card, offering a potion instead of actual help. What a team player. From a nearby building, some other students are watching, absolutely green with envy. Another observer scoffs, thinking Lion Yinning is being held back by her C-rank teammates. But this woman knows better, smirking that if Lin Luo is a loser, everyone else is just garbage. Meanwhile, other teams are getting absolutely demolished inside the tower. This onlookers note that the higher floors are basically a meat grinder. After floor 15, the cameras all get destroyed, so nobody can see what is really happening. On the leaderboard, Lion Yinning's team has plummeted down to 37th place. Back with the team, they look completely exhausted in a frozen wasteland. Lion Yinning is at her limit, wondering if she can even go on. Her friend thanks her for basically carrying them all the way to the 19th floor, and that is when Lin Luo finally gets up, announcing he will take the lead now. This knight is confused, but Lion Yinning just tells him to check the team's stats. He pulls up the info and has a full-on meltdown. Lin Luo is level 26 while he is a measly 13. Lin Luo asks her to unfreeze one of the monsters. He has got a plan involving his Black Death skill. This idea is to let it run for backup, creating a monster farm for them. Lion Yinning is totally game, still dying to see how he solos dungeons. She unfreezes the beast, which lets out a very confused roar, and it immediately books it out of there just as planned. But something unexpected catches Lin Luo completely off guard. This monster did not bring friends, it brought the entire damn floor. His team is instantly swarmed, wondering where this mob even came from. Then they spot another team watching from the cliffs. It is a trio of jerks who deliberately kited the horde to slow them down. Lion Yinning tries to defend, but the monsters are already on top of them. A beast lunges, but something intercepts the attack just in time. Lin Luo casually summons his lizardman army, no big deal, and his new minions charge forward to meet the horde head-on. His teammates are just floored, since when did their priest have a summoning skill? Up on the ridge, the rival team's sabotage plan is officially in shambles. But then they notice something else, even more monsters are coming. Deciding this is no longer their problem, the rivals just peace out. Now Lin Luo's team is facing a truly apocalyptic number of beasts. With his team exhausted, Lin Luo finally decides it is his turn to play. He unleashes his Black Death skill and a monster just explodes into dust. This plague immediately starts spreading through the monster horde. His teammates just watch as the XP notifications go absolutely insane. But Lin Luo is not satisfied, he wants to cover the entire floor in this stuff. So he launches a massive orb of death straight into the sky. This whole team looks up as a terrifying plague cloud starts to form. Soon, the entire landscape is just a swirling vortex of death and decay. His buddy asks if it is a poison skill, but Lin Luo clarifies it is contagious. Lion Yinning correctly guesses it is a disease since these monsters resist poison. He explains it is a virus that rapidly infects and destroys cells. And yeah, it is super contagious, billions of viruses per goblin. Actually, scratch that, it is trillions now, enough to blanket the whole floor. This knight freaks out, but Lin Luo assures him he is in control of the plague. But for anyone who is not on his team, well, that is a different story. Meanwhile, the rival team who ditched them is mocking their certain doom. Their leader is already focused on the exit, telling his guys to move faster. But then they stop, noticing the sky is getting weirdly dark. They look up in absolute horror, completely baffled by what they are seeing. It is Lin Luo's giant plague cloud, and it is coming right for them. This rival team immediately starts choking inside the plague cloud. Their heads are pounding as the virus takes hold. Realizing this is a death sentence, the leader smashes his emergency exit button, and just like that, they are unceremoniously dumped outside the tower. Outside, a bunch of old suits are betting on how high the prodigies will climb. They are all talking about how badly the world needs new heroes, the usual spiel. Apparently, the grand prize is a broken artifact, just a carrot on a stick for the newbies. But then one of them points, telling everyone to shut up and look. Something's wrong, a massive poison cloud is engulfing the 19th floor. Suddenly, golden lights start shooting out of the tower's windows. It is more students getting ejected, all screaming for medics and antidotes that will not work. These medics are totally baffled since the nearest poison monster is 7 floors away. One doctor checks the status bar and realizes it is not poison at all, it is a virus. He identifies it as the Black Death, but the monster with that skill is on floor 50. This old guy's eyes go wide, suddenly wondering if Lin Luo is behind this. A survivor explains he just saw a giant cloud and monsters dying everywhere. For the S ranks already past floor 20, the old man calls this a blessing. Meanwhile, on a much higher floor, the landscape is a corrupted, reddish wasteland. Dongfang's team is chilling inside a protective bubble, completely unfazed by the carnage. With a smug look, he boasts his family's intel prepared him for anything, aiming for floor 28. His new lackey is already gushing, but Dongfang's only thinking about his rival, Murong Zuhan. He smugly declares she has hit her limit, which is a real pity. Speaking of Murong Zuhan, she is currently saving her team from getting flattened. One of her teammates desperately throws up a holy shield, which immediately gets obliterated by a giant monster fist, of course. This armored guy starts panicking, certain this endless horde is targeting them specifically. Murong Zuhan is clearly exhausted, so another teammate offers to take over. But the knight flips out, accusing her of betraying them for Dongfang. She is in total denial, convinced Dongfang is sincere and not just using her. Oh honey. Murong Zuhan coldly tells her to go for it since she has never won against her anyway. Her loyal teammate asks what is next, and she just says they have qualified, so they are done. But she is not just leaving, she is vowing to come back and take Dongfang's throne. Meanwhile, Lin Luo's team reaches the 20th floor entrance feeling pretty good. This knight is ready to go to floor 50 for fun, but Lin Luo tells him to chill. Lion Yinning correctly guesses his plague skill has limits against high magic monsters. Lin Luo confirms it, adding that it is also useless in a well-ventilated room. This knight points out their plague also took out that other team. He is suddenly worried they have made a whole lot of enemies. Lin Luo just smirks, questioning the very concept of offending people. He then gives a whole speech about how in this world you either fight or you die. His teammates are now fully on board, pledging to back him up no matter what. They step onto the 20th floor, a tropical hellscape filled with brand new monsters. Suddenly, a volley of rocks rains down on the unsuspecting beasts, which land with a massive, ground-shaking explosion. And the one responsible is their knight, playing the role of professional idiot bait. He is literally screaming, "Come at me, bro," to the entire horde, a truly galaxy brain move. This plan works a little too well, and now he is running for his dear life. He begs Lin Luo for the virus, who just roasts him about his terrible gear instead. Just then, a monster dives straight for Lin Luo, but a flash of blue energy slices right through its attack. Lion Yinning swoops in from above, making the save look easy. She makes it crystal clear nobody touches her priest. With the whole floor's attention, Lin Luo decides it is time to start the show. He unleashes the Black Death again, and a massive plague cloud erupts from the ground. Back outside, the old suits get leaderboard updates. Dongfeng's team hit floor 27. They casually dismiss Murong Zuhin's stop at 26 as a setback to build character. One old guy even gets philosophical about how geniuses are forged through hardship. Their little chat is interrupted by a guard who looks like he has seen a ghost. He reports that the poisonous cloud from floor 19 is spreading upwards, and yeah, the whole tower is now engulfed in a plague burrito, affecting 3,000 students. This old suits are in full panic mode as students get carted off on stretchers. An official confirms less than 100 students are even left on the upper floors. One of them correctly guesses this disaster was not a monster, it was man-made, which leads to the horrifying thought that traitors are inside the tower right now. Then we get a lore drop about doomsday cultists who gave up on humanity. These guys decided to worship a demon god to save everyone by ending it all. This lovely group of nihilists is known as the Fallen, but the suits doubt it is them since they'd just kill everyone instead of targeting the S ranks. With the tower locked down, there is absolutely nothing they can do to help, so they are just hoping the prodigies inside can handle a potential terrorist attack. Meanwhile, Lin Luo's team arrives at the 26th floor completely oblivious. His teammates are just thrilled about their massive level gains. Then Lin Luo casually announces he has hit level 30 and has 4 new skills. This first one is Reproductive Excitation, a skill that makes things horny. And the other 3 are literally just STDs. This priest is now a walking plague of biblical proportions. With the most unholy grin, he decides he is learning every single one. His team immediately notices his incredibly creepy, perverted smile. When they ask what he learned, he just says it is better they remain blissfully ignorant. Lion Yinning, blushing, quickly changes the subject to his level 30 job transfer. And he is all for it since he has got a special hidden job book ready to go. Lin Luo activates his special job book, getting a choice between 2 hidden professions. These options are the Dark Lord and Evil Doctor, both sound incredibly trustworthy. He checks out the Dark Lord class, which is basically a necromancer with a side effect of turning you into a skeleton. Yeah, our boy is not about that bony look, so he moves on to the other option. Evil Doctor comes with a skill called Non-Responsible Surgery, a high-risk operation with random effects. His eyes go wide. He loves the idea of a chaotic skill where someone else suffers the consequences. A surgery with zero accountability is basically his dream job, so the choice is made. He officially becomes the Evil Doctor and immediately gets a new quest called Silver Heart. This mission is simple: kill a silver-level humanoid boss and yoink its heart within a month. Back with his crew, Lin Luo announces it is time for them to go their separate ways. Both teammates immediately offer to help, worried about him taking on a job quest alone. He explains the target is a high-profile boss on the 30th floor which will attract a ton of competition. A 3-person group is too big a target and he cannot guarantee he can protect them. This knight is just grateful, admitting they'd have been stuck on floor 19 without him anyway. Lin Luo says his goodbyes, but Lion Yinning is clearly not ready to let him leave. Just as he turns to go, she calls out, stopping him in his tracks. She offers him a stand-in puppet, a one-time use item that can block a lethal attack. He tries to refuse, knowing it is a priceless family heirloom meant to save her own life. She insists, saying his safety is more important, and almost accidentally confesses her feelings. He finally takes the puppet, and with one last look, they part ways for now. Lin Luo is left holding the puppet, thinking this gift is way too valuable. Meanwhile, on a much higher floor, it is absolute pandemonium as multiple teams fight for their lives. One guy is panicking hard, realizing they have stumbled into a nest of elite hellhounds. A hooded swordsman spots Dongfeng and proposes a temporary alliance to survive the onslaught. Dongfeng, ever the opportunist, agrees and immediately takes the lead. His new ally unleashes a lightning-fast sword skill to clear a path through the horde. This attack, called Mountain Splitter, absolutely shreds through the swarm of monsters. With a path cleared, the newly formed team makes a break for it. They finally spot the exit portal on the other side of a massive lava lake, but just as they get close, the entire lake starts to bubble and erupt, and a massive horned lava monster bursts out, looking extremely territorial. This blonde teammate immediately gets blasted by a wave of magma. He recognizes it as the Hellhound King, the floor boss who is supposed to be sleeping. Dongfeng just smirks, revealing his pet dragon is monster bait and this guy is the sacrifice. This hooded swordsman is horrified, reminding Dongfeng they are supposed to be allies. With their bait teammate about to be eaten, the two prodigies prepare to fight. They leap into action, launching a desperate attack against the roaring beast. Back outside the tower, Lion Yinning and the knight have safely exited. She is completely flustered, replaying the moment she held Lin Luo's hand. This knight immediately starts teasing her, calling her sister-in-law and earning a death glare. This knight starts spilling the tea. He found a love letter Lion Yinning wrote to Lin Luo back in high school. She is immediately desperate to know his reaction, admitting she thought he'd just ignored it. Her teammate explains Lin Luo was having some kind of mental break back then, so he was not really himself. Elsewhere, two guys who look like they have been through a blender stumble out of the tower, completely wrecked. A couple of observers note that even Dongfeng's elite team is finally starting to lose members. One of the survivors, a blonde guy, spots Lion Yinning and calls out to her. But her knight teammate goes full protective mode, calling her sister-in-law and telling the guy to back off. This blonde guy's brain just completely short-circuits at that title. His confusion is so profound it practically echoes across the entire plaza. Lion Yinning's knight just tells her to ignore the loudmouth and wait for Lin Luo to show up. Finally rebooting, the blonde guy demands to know when she became anyone's sister-in-law. This knight smugly explains she is close to his bro, so it is obvious, earning him a sharp threat from Lion Yinning. This new guy, Yang Haoran, gets it all twisted, fuming that she is with that D-rank trash Lin Luo. He then starts running his mouth, calling both Lin Luo and the knight trash who are beneath him. That little speech earns him a very personal finger grab from the knight, who then tells him to open his dog eyes because that trash is the reason they cleared floor 26. He points to the leaderboard showing Lin Luo's name chilling on floor 27. Yang Haoran's entire worldview shatters. A D-rank priest alone on floor 27 is impossible. This crowd immediately starts crying foul, convinced he has to be cheating. Just then, two officials show up to escort Yang Haoran away for a little chat with the deputy city guard. So Yang Haoran gets escorted into a very official-looking building for a little chat. He is sweating bullets, realizing he is face-to-face with some serious VIPs. This old suits immediately start grilling him about any abnormalities he saw, like a poison cloud. He denies seeing any fog but whines about the Hellhound King waking up and ruining his run. This confirms their theory: the Black Death was brought in by a student or one of the fallen. A masked official reports the plague stopped at floor 26, but someone else just hit floor 27. This old guys are immediately intrigued, demanding to know who this mystery climber is. And the official drops the bomb: it is Lin Luo, a D-rank priest. Their brains just short-circuit, since not even Lion Yinning could carry a priest that high. Yang Haoran immediately starts screaming that it has to be cheating, his team was pure trash. One of the suits shuts that down, saying even prepped items cannot explain this kind of miracle. They speculate it might be Lion Yinning's secret skill, or maybe Lin Luo is a fallen cultist. With no easy answers, the laid suit decides Lin Luo needs a full investigation. Elsewhere, a woman in a red dress calls out to another woman in a blue tracksuit. She gets right to the point, grabbing her arm and asking about the Black Death. It was Lin Luo, was not it? This red-dressed woman explains her logic: everyone else got sick but his team was fine. She then lays out the very serious consequences. A lot of powerful families are gonna want revenge. This woman in blue is now panicking, asking her aunt for a solution to protect him. Her aunt's brilliant plan is to point directly at her and say, "You are the solution." She then leans in to whisper the plan, leaving her niece looking utterly shocked. This aunt's grand plan involves keeping her dad in the dark, calling him a fool who just get in the way. But her niece is totally on board, vowing to do anything to protect Lin Luo. Meanwhile, Lin Luo is on a desolate floor, completely surrounded by a pack of fiery hellhounds. And he is just marveling at how his horny curse is making this whole situation incredibly awkward for the dogs. Just then, the ground erupts in a massive pillar of lava right in front of him. And out pops the Hellhound King, the floor boss, who is clearly not in a napping mood. This beast immediately lunges, forcing Lin Luo to dodge a massive claw swipe. He quickly realizes the boss is already wounded, probably from Dongfang's team, and is just looking for a new punching bag. Our boy sees this as a golden opportunity. A weakened boss is basically a freebie, but the king unleashes a massive fire blast, trying to incinerate him on the spot. Lin Luo's got a new trick though, a debuff literally called Alzheimer's disease, which causes the boss's attack to just fizzle out, its own magic turning against it. With the monster confused, Lin Luo announces it is time for another special delivery, hitting it with a cocktail of curses, pain, fever, skin explosions, the works. This pain package, he explains, is a boss-exclusive special, so it should feel honored. This monster is just getting absolutely wrecked, flailing around in pure agony. It is clearly taking a beating but is not down for the count just yet, and its eyes are now glowing with pure, unadulterated rage. Lin Luo senses a massive power spike, wondering if it is about to go berserk. But it is a fake-out. The boss is just pretending so it can run away, which is just pathetic. Lin Luo is absolutely done with this boss, calling it a dog for trying to pull a fast one. So he hits it with a brand new debuff, Mental Confusion. This little trick makes the target completely lose its mind and attack anything in sight, and the Hellhound King immediately turns on its own pack of minions. This little hellhounds are just completely baffled, basically asking, "Dad, what gives?" Their dad's answer is a massive fiery explosion while Lin Luo just walks away from the chaos. With the boss dead, he gets a huge XP boost, a level up, and a shower of loot. This haul includes a new skill book, a magic crystal, and a pretty sweet silver-level dagger. He figures he must have gotten the first kill bonus since no one expects a boss to be a coward. Now with only 2 hours left, he has got to book it to floor 30 to finish his job quest. Meanwhile, a blonde woman is being told her friend Li Mei has completely vanished. She is not exactly heartbroken, just annoyed and calling the girl a fool for avoiding her. Her response is to ruin the girl's family and have her exiled, just some light, friendly retaliation. An assistant tries to show her the tower rankings, but she waves it off, expecting the usual names. But the report has a shocker. A D-rank priest is on floor 28 and her jaw just hits the floor. She immediately puts 2 and 2 together, realizing this must be Lin Luo and his poison fog. Her aide recalls how Lion Yinning has always had her eye on him, seeing his hidden potential. When asked if Lin Luo is a real rival, the blonde lady scoffs that a little virus is no big deal. But she smirks, admitting that if this D-rank priest has more tricks, she is actually getting excited. Outside the tower, the crowd is in an uproar, screaming that he must have cheated using the Lion family's resources. Lion Yinning fiercely defends Lin Luo, but her knight says it is pointless arguing with haters. Her aunt just ups the stakes, saying he might even become the national champion. She then drops some perspective. Their city's record is 26 floors, but the capital's is 29. That record was set by a legendary necromancer whose guild got absolutely annihilated years ago. Waving off the dark history, the aunt says Lin Luo has a shot at winning the world wonder. Naturally, no one knows what that is, so she explains it as the grand prize for the #1 student. Just then, a teacher rushes over, totally starstruck that they cleared floor 26, but she warns them to be careful because a lot of powerful families are now watching them. This knight just gives a thumbs up, saying Lin Luo's plan was to take all the heat himself. Meanwhile, back inside the ominous tower, we are on floor 28, a charming hellscape of harpies and bloodthirsty trees. And look who it is, Dongfeng, looking like he has been through a blender, his dragon pet at his side. He is pissed the monsters almost killed his pet, wondering if he has finally hit his limit. But his pride will not let him stop, vowing to become #1 as he crawls towards the exit. At that moment, a harpy spots him from above, and he is sure his run is over. This monster dives in for the kill, talons ready to rip him apart, and then it just stops, looking right past him at something else. Dongfeng is completely baffled, convinced he should be the only person left on the floor. He cautiously peeks over the rock, trying to see what could possibly have distracted them, only to find the harpies fighting each other in the most suggestive poses imaginable. The curse strikes again. Dongfeng is completely stunned to find the harpies are not fighting the trees, they are getting acquainted. And a close-up confirms it, they are way too into being tied up by these vines. He accurately describes the scene as less of a battle and more of a group perversion game. He is not wrong. Then his brain finally connects the dots as he realizes what is happening, because there is Lin Luo just casually walking through the absolute chaos he created. Our boy is just admiring his own work, marveling that his horny curse works on plants too. He'd love to stay and farm this mess for XP, but he is on a deadline to clear the tower. Dongfeng, meanwhile, is convinced no priest has a skill this twisted, it has to be a hidden class. Vowing revenge for his injured pet, he promises to make Lin Luo pay for this humiliation. He pulls out a power-up, declaring that no matter what, he will be the one to win. Lin Luo then arrives on floor 29, a frozen wasteland crawling with ice-poisoned toads. He is immediately hit by a brutal blizzard, a lone person against the icy expanse. This place is so cold it could freeze him solid in an instant, a seriously bad spot for a timed run. With time ticking, he decides to use the flame shield skill from the last boss, hoping for a lucky mutation, and it mutates into the penicillin phage antibody shield, which basically eats elemental attacks for breakfast. This skill immediately grants him cold resistance, and he cannot believe how ridiculously OP it is. Now completely immune, he starts sprinting across the ice, already planning trips to magma pools. He leaves a trail of footprints, moving effortlessly toward the next floor's entrance. But back at the start, Dongfeng is struggling, burning a precious flame stone just to keep from freezing. Desperate, he tells his dragon to eat an elixir that will double its power by burning its own blood. He is going all in. Dongfeng rides his newly buffed dragon, screaming that he is going to be the only one left standing. This massive beast roars, ready to attack Lin Luo, who just stands there completely unimpressed. With a casual leap, our boy just hops across an icy chasm, not a care in the world. He is just looking on, totally unfazed by the giant, angry death lizard. His first thought is not fear, but wait, are not there supposed to be toads here? Then his brain connects the dots. This has to be Dongfeng Hai's famous pet dragon. Confused why he is getting jumped, Lin Luo summons some lizardman spirits to even the odds. He sends his new minions charging right at the dragon, a classic distraction play. These lizard guys immediately swarm the beast, clawing and biting away at its scales. Realizing they are not enough, Lin Luo throws out a skin explosion curse for good measure. And the dragon lets out a roar of pain as the debuff starts doing its nasty work. But the damage is minimal, so Lin Luo figures Dongfeng must be hiding somewhere close by. His new plan is brilliant, use the pet to track down the master, so he hits the dragon with his signature move. Mental confusion, you just love to see it. This poor dragon is now totally lost, while Dongfeng watches from a cliff, completely clueless. In its confusion, the dragon immediately turns and smashes the cliff its own master is standing on. Dongfeng is absolutely losing it, screaming at his pet to snap out of it. With his cover blown, he decides to just charge in and fight alongside his confused lizard. Great plan. Lin Luo notes the dragon's high resistance but smirks. He has got something special saved for Dongfeng. And just like that, Dongfeng gets hit with a curse of his own, his face twisting in agony. Dongfeng is absolutely losing his mind, while Lin Luo just smirks behind him. He starts monologuing that fighting him up close was the biggest mistake of Lin Luo's life. Then he unleashes a massive wave of ice spikes trying to skewer our boy, screaming that there can only be one champion and it is obviously him. He follows up with a yellow flash strike, pouring everything into this one attack. This giant energy blast just completely engulfs the entire area. Dongfeng stands over the crater, gloating that his Dragon Knight class is just superior. But Lin Luo just pops up behind him asking, "So where's that dragon of yours?" Turns out the dragon is already down for the count and Dongfeng is panicking. He furiously demands to know what kind of curse Lin Luo just used on him. Our boy just holds up a little debuff icon, wondering if Dongfeng will still be able to talk soon. And then he gets real dark, threatening to rip the guy's tongue right out. Dongfeng, now covered in some nasty yellow gunk, blames his loss on old injuries and vows revenge. Lin Luo just roasts him for talking tough while using an escape scroll but mentions a gift for his pet. With that, he just turns his back, deciding his job quest is way more important. A beam of light shoots out of the dragon's mouth as it gets teleported away. Outside, an observer notes another candidate is out, leaving only Lin Luo and Dongfeng in the tower. This crowd immediately assumes it was Lin Luo, calling him a D-class cheater who cannot compare to a dragon rider. One guy even rallies the troops to go beat up Lin Luo for using that poison fog on them, and right on cue a defeated Dongfeng appears in a flash of light, shutting everyone up instantly. Dongfeng lands outside, trying to look tough and asking the crowd if they want a piece of him. This crowd is just baffled, wondering how the great dragon rider got knocked out first. Then someone points out that his dragon looks a little under the weather. This poor pet is clearly struggling and Dongfeng has no clue what is going on, and then it just erupts in a geyser of green goo. Lin Luo's gift has arrived. This toxic cloud of dragon vomit clears the area with everyone gagging on the stench. Furious, Dongfeng realizes Lin Luo set him up and vows revenge while trying not to puke. Meanwhile, at the Dongfeng family home, things are a lot more serene. Inside a cave, the family patriarch is reporting to an ancestor, confident his son is the only one left. But he has to break the news. There is a D-rank priest still in the tower with their heir. This ancestor just scoffs, dismissing the priest as some cheater who cannot compare to his boy. He even accuses the patriarch of being jealous, but the man just says he does not want to lose another grandchild. Daezong just pushes up his glasses, looking incredibly stressed out by this whole conversation. Just then, his wrist device beeps with an update. His son was eliminated and his pet was publicly humiliated. This ancestor is absolutely floored to hear his precious heir was taken out by a dragon's stench. Back on floor 29, Lin Luo is facing his next opponent, the level 43 Ice Poison Toad. He peeks out from cover, readying his classic Skin Explosion curse. This spell hits its mark, and the toad starts to pop and sizzle immediately. But as he is fighting, a mysterious hooded figure appears right behind him, and the toad, instead of dying, just inflates like a balloon, looking way more dangerous. This toad tries to self-destruct, but Lin Luo hits it with a red curse, telling it to knock it off. And the spell is literally called Alzheimer. It makes monsters forget their own skills. With its main gimmick disabled, the toad just deflates and dies for a cool 14,000 XP. Lin Luo is just glad he did not have to find out what a toad bomb feels like, checking the loot. He finds an ice poison bead, a rare item that gives a permanent unlimited stat boost, but he is immediately skeptical since an item this broken should have been farmed to extinction. Then his brain connects the dots as he remembers the monster's self-destruct mechanic. He has found the perfect loophole. Pros are too busy speedrunning to stop the explosions and newbies cannot. Realizing he is sitting on an untapped goldmine, our boy decides it is time to test his theory. So he immediately finds another toad and hits it with his classic Skin Explosion curse. This of course gets the attention of every other toad in the immediate vicinity. This cursed one prepares to retaliate, launching a massive ice barrage right at him. An absolute storm of ice spikes just rips through the canyon, forcing him to take cover. After the dust settles, he confirms his theory, XP, but no loot, meaning the explosion destroyed it. With a confident smirk, he knows exactly what he needs to do now. He finds a whole valley of them ready to farm while that hooded person watches from above. To speed things up, he summons his lizardman squad for some good old-fashioned crowd control. All the toads immediately start puffing up, ready to go kamikaze on his minions. Lin Luo just raises his staff, ready to give the whole group a case of short-term memory loss, and just like that, the entire army of toads deflates, completely and utterly baffled. This entire valley of toads just drops dead, leaving Lin Luo to soak it all in. Of course, the sound of mass toad death just attracts even more toads. Lin Luo just grins, revealing he has already infected them all with a Black Death virus. He then unleashes the plague, a swirling vortex of pure dark energy. This nets him a massive XP dump and a level up, though he is a bit drained. His haul is insane, 248 ice poison beads, and he is ready to cash in. He immediately absorbs them all, his spirit energy skyrocketing with each one. This power-up feels incredible, doubling his spirit energy in an instant. Just then, his demonic rune starts glowing, having absorbed enough souls to activate. This rune grants a stat boost, monster transformation, and insane mana recovery. He is absolutely stoked. Unlimited mana is a game changer for a curse-spamming priest, but his celebration is cut short by a massive shadow falling over him. Our boy is completely blindsided, his eyes wide with shock. And there it is, the Ice Poison Toad King, a boss the size of a building. Lin Luo, however, just smirks, seeing the perfect test subject for his new powers. From a distance, the hooded observer watches as Lin Luo transforms in a flash of red. This giant Toad King looks down to find a tiny, harmless-looking lizard, our boy in disguise. He is amazed his new transformation skill can even fool a boss, an assassin's dream come true. While the area is already toxic, he does not have time to wait for the poison to work, so he finds the perfect angle for a sneak attack, ready to unleash a new combo. He opens with his signature skin explosion, ready to test it on the big guy. But the Toad King just stares down at the tiny lizard, who lets out a pathetic little ribbit. This massive boss is clearly not impressed by the world's smallest ambush attempt, so Lin Luo switches tactics and hits it with a diarrhea curse, because of course he does. This giant toad immediately feels the effects, erupting in a blast of dark energy. Our boy then follows up with his new but limited combo, stacking debuffs for maximum pain. In response, the Toad King's eye glows, charging a massive counterattack. A huge beam of freezing light just rips through the entire canyon, and Lin Luo is caught right in the blast zone, barely holding on. He is completely stunned. That attack was so strong it even blocked his own spell. Before he can recover, the toad charges up another glare from its eye. Lin Luo whips out his trump card, casting Alzheimer's disease once again. Ghostly hands swarm the boss's face, leaving it totally baffled and confused. With its guard down, he lands a skin explosion right in its eye. From a safe distance, he confirms the plan worked. No more eye beams for you. Surrounded by swirling auras, Lin Luo declares it is finally his turn to go on the offensive. His eyes are glowing, ready to unleash his full power on the blinded boss. He summons a whole squad of demonic spirits to swarm the beast from all sides. This Toad King just roars in agony as they claw and tear away at it. And just as it tries to self-destruct, Lin Luo hits it with another Alzheimer, shutting that nonsense down immediately. With the boss dead, Lin Luo gets a massive loot drop and a level up. He's just swimming in rewards, including a pearl that grants a super ability. Spotting the skillbook for that nasty eye beam, he decides to learn it immediately. But the system trolls him, granting a curse called Al's Spread instead. Our boy grimly realizes he just weaponized a real-world incurable disease. Shaking that off, he eyes the Ice King's bead, which promises another rare power. He absorbs it instantly, unlocking 2 new abilities in a flash of light. This first is Adrenaline Rush, a speed boost that might also make him go crazy. Feeling the power surge, he is thrilled to finally have an answer for close combat. Meanwhile, Dongfeng is getting a house call, still stewing in his own failure. His own men are openly mocking him for the whole dragon vomit incident. Dongfeng just sits there seething, promising to kill Lin Luo tomorrow. Back outside the tower, the crowd finally notices Lin Luo has hit the 29th floor, and before they can even process that, his name lights up the 30th floor. His old classmates are losing their minds, cheering on their hometown hero. A council of elders takes notice, deciding this kid has limitless potential. Elsewhere, a mysterious blonde woman acknowledges he is now the nation's top prospect. She smirks, deciding her Murong family absolutely needs to recruit him. Lin Luo himself arrives on the 30th floor, a dark cavern filled with bats. He steps forward into the gloom, ready for whatever comes next. Lin Luo explains he spent so much time farming toads he had to speedrun the 29th floor. And by speedrun, he means he cast a few confusion spells and let the monsters kill each other. Now on the 30th floor, he is short on time and decides the local bats are his ticket to the boss. Of course, the local bats are giant, level 45 demonic creatures, so naturally he opens with his signature skin explosion curse. This spell works and one of the bats just pops and plummets from the ceiling, but this just wakes up the entire very angry, glowing-eyed colony, and they immediately swarm him in a massive vortex of screeching death. Completely unfazed, our boy just activates his new demonization power. He transforms into a tiny, harmless-looking bat, leaving the whole swarm utterly baffled. Blending in perfectly, he zips off to find the real boss with only 20 minutes to spare. His search leads him to a massive, creepy-looking cemetery full of coffins. This place is guarded by humanoid blood slaves, a sure sign the boss is nearby, and 2 elite-looking guards are protecting one very important-looking coffin. Dropping his disguise, Lin Luo gets ready to cast his favorite spell, Mental Confusion. It works instantly, turning the 2 bodyguards against each other in a blind rage, and they immediately start trying to tear each other to shreds. Problem solved. He just kicks back and watches them brawl, happy they are taking the fight far away from him. Inside the coffin, he finds the floor boss, a level 50 fallen baron, still fast asleep. Seeing the perfect opportunity, he prepares to give the sleeping vampire a very rude awakening. He blasts the coffin with a face full of dark magic, hoping for a quick kill, but he is immediately confused. Did he actually just one-shot the floor boss? Now he figures there is no way it would be that easy. Then his eyes go wide as he realizes what is actually happening. This coffin just melts into a puddle of angry, bubbling goo. And out steps the fallen baron, looking very much awake and extremely annoyed. Lin Luo sees the blood reforming his body. Yep, normal attacks are useless. This Baron immediately unleashes a sonic scream, sending him flying backwards, and he lands right in the middle of the vampire's newly awakened welcoming committee. Our boy is officially in a very, very bad spot. Surrounded by ghouls, he decides it is time to use that new skill. He is taking hits from all sides, barely managing to stay on his feet. So he finally pops Adrenaline Rush, going full-on Shadow Demon mode. His first move is to deliver a boot directly to some poor ghoul's face, and he is immediately rocketing forward way too fast to even control himself. This Baron just roars, summoning 2 blood clones to join the fight. These new goons are basically half-strength copies of the original. But with his new speed, Lin Luo just zips past them, calling them way too slow. This Baron tries to catch him with a blast of blood flames from below, and he is just cackling, thinking he has finally got our boy cornered. Lin Luo just tanks the flames with a shield, asking if the boss is done yet. With the ground shattering under his feet, he prepares to launch. He then blitzes forward, a blur of pure speed the Baron cannot even track. A massive shockwave sends the vampire flying across the room. This boss is completely stunned, barely able to process what just happened. So Lin Luo follows up by hitting the blood clones with his signature skin explosion. Their heads immediately dissolve into a pile of disgusting black goo, but the sludge just merges right back into the main body. Our boy realizes this guy is basically invincible as long as there is blood around, as the Baron launches another spike attack from the ground. Lin Luo decides it is time to test out that deeply unethical Al's spread curse. This blood clones are immediately impaled by dozens of glowing blue crosses. Their bodies begin to crystallize and crumble under the curse's power. He is genuinely shocked it worked, wondering if vampires are just weak to Al's. Turns out the blood clotting symptom is the perfect counter to a blood-based body. Absolutely furious, the Baron roars and lunges forward for a desperate attack. But Lin Luo is already summoning a whole volley of curse daggers to meet him. This boss frantically tries to dodge the incoming swarm of projectiles. One of them lands a direct hit, infecting his arm instantly, so he just lops it off, prompting Lin Luo to wonder how many more parts he can spare. This Baron gets trapped inside a massive, holy-looking ice crystal, and he is just screaming in agony as the curse takes hold. Lin Luo explains that the vampire's regeneration is useless against his own blood skill. Then he taunts the guy, wondering how immortal he will be with no blood left. With that, he unleashes blood fever to finish the job, and the Baron just explodes in a shower of crystallized gore. Victory brings a massive level up and a screen full of loot drops. Our boy is completely wiped, admitting Adrenaline Rush has some serious drawbacks. Among the rewards is a gold skill point, a super rare item for breaking skill limits. He decides to upgrade his shield first since, not dying is a priority, so he dumps all his points into it, using the gold one to unlock a special effect, which apparently summons a tiny purring thing. Turns out it is a penicillin elf, a new companion that can copy his mutation skills. Lin Luo is thrilled. He's got a powerful new assistant he immediately names Little Green. Next up are the boss drops, a vampire's core and a vampire's essence. This essence is a bloodline item, even rarer than the gold skill point he just got. It allows a player to become a half-breed like a half-elf or half-orc, but Lin Luo decides against becoming a vampire, citing their obvious weaknesses. He also gets a skill book, some sweet blood wings, and a vampire ring, and he is pretty stoked that the new gear gives him a huge boost to his stats. He checks out the vampire skill, First Embrace, but decides becoming a bloodsucker is not worth it, so naturally he tries to learn it anyway with a classic "oops, my hand slipped," and the system in its infinite wisdom gives him the T-virus instead. Lin Luo realizes his mutation talent can just ignore any and all class restrictions, which is completely broken. Yep, it is that T-virus, the one that turns people into flesh-eating zombies. He immediately pictures a world of superpowered monsters becoming superpowered zombies, a solid nope scenario. Worse, the skill description conveniently leaves out the part about Asterisk controlling his new zombie army. Deciding a zombie apocalypse is bad for business, he puts that particular war crime on the shelf for now. With only 5 minutes left, he finally gets around to his job transfer, crushing the vampire's core. A pillar of light engulfs him as he completes the final step of the mission. And just like that, he has unlocked the hidden profession, Evil Doctor. Forget priest, he is now a scalpel-wielding mad scientist ready to play God. Outside the tower, everyone's getting antsy, wondering if he died on the 30th floor. A pink-haired woman uses his success as a motivational speech about no weak professions, which is rich. His old classmates are busy rewriting history, calling him a role model while his friend knows he never studied. Meanwhile, some shady-looking officials decide they need to recruit Lin Luo no matter the cost. In another part of the city, the deputy city guard gets an important update. His aide reports that 7 families are already plotting against Lin Luo, plus all the people he cursed want him dead. This old man just scoffs, saying trials build character and the infected are just whining. But his aide drops a bombshell about the fallen, and suddenly the old guy is not so calm anymore. This old man explains that without a powerful family, Lin Luo is a prime target for the fallen, so he immediately orders 2 of his best guardians to go protect the kid. Back at the tower, a massive pillar of energy erupts from the top. He is finally out, and there he is, floating down as the pink-haired announcer presents the D-ranked winner. His victory lap is immediately cut short by a mob of very salty players. They are all screaming about how he ruined their trials and are ready to jump him. But then a girl in a blue jacket pushes her way through the angry crowd. She rushes straight for a very confused Lin Luo and just plants one right on him, leaving our boy completely short-circuited. This entire crowd just freezes, watching this unfold in total shock. Then they recognize her as Lion Yinning from the powerful Lion family, and suddenly nobody's feeling so tough. She pulls away, looking pretty pleased with her very public power move. Lin Luo is just standing there, trying to process what just happened. Before she just brushes it off, tells him to go home and turns to leave. Then she just bolts, leaving him and everyone else completely baffled. Later that night, Lin Luo and his friend are walking through a dark alley. His buddy is, of course, teasing him about the kiss, but Lin Luo knows it was just to protect him. At that moment, his eyes go wide as he senses someone watching them. A guy with orange hair is perched on a wire above, impressed he was noticed but not threatened. He introduces himself as a messenger from the Lion family with a simple warning: stay away from their girl, you toad. Lin Luo is not intimidated in the slightest, basically telling the Lion family to shove it. Meanwhile, his new bodyguards are on a smoke break, deciding not to babysit, until one of them feels a terrifying presence that gets his full attention. A massive swirling darkness descends on the alley, an aura they know all too well. This entire area gets sealed off inside a giant dome of dark mist. Outside, the Guardians are freaking out, realizing the Fallen are already here. They recognize the signature of the Lord of the Dark Mist, a top-tier threat. And they are absolutely furious. They let their protection target get snatched on their watch. Luckily, the Lion family guy is in there too, buying them a few minutes to break in. Inside, our boy and his crew are completely lost in the swirling void. This orange-haired messenger identifies it as the Fallen Lord's pocket dimension, which sends Lin Luo's friend into a panic. They are just minions. Why is a legend after them? Their protector clarifies only he is the minion and tells them to follow his lead. So the unlikely trio starts looking for a way out of this misty nightmare, but a green-haired woman and her spooky friends emerge to block the exit. This Lion family guy immediately powers up, ready to throw down with the Fallen. She just scoffs at the gold-ranked fighter, ordering her goon to take out the trash. One of the cloaked figures steps up, its hand morphing into a wicked claw. And it transforms into a massive werewolf monster, ready for a brawl. This beast unleashes a huge wave of ice spikes, kicking off the fight in style. This green-haired woman makes a job offer to Lin Luo: join the Night Watch, the benefits are great. His buddy immediately starts yelling at the Fallen to back off, ready to throw down. Our boy calmly asks if the Night Watch is just another name for their little evil club. She claims Fallen is just a dirty name used by their enemies to cast them out. Then she gets uncomfortably close to make her point, declaring that they are the world's true saviors, a totally trustworthy sales pitch. Their plan is to embrace the evil god to find a new future, which sounds stable. Turns out one of their masters wants Lin Luo as a disciple for his poison skills. Lin Luo just scoffs, telling his friend not to worry about him joining a cult, so she drops the friendly act and orders her minion to just grab him. This creepy new goon promises his master will break Lin Luo one way or another, and summons some underworld ghost to lock our boy down. But the ghost summoner suddenly forgets his own spell mid-cast and gets absolutely wrecked by a massive backlash. Lin Luo reveals his latest medical masterpiece, Alzheimer's disease. This minion's body immediately starts crumbling into dust, leaving him screaming as his mind and body just fall apart. His boss is furious, realizing it was a curse and not just a failed spell. Deciding if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. She unleashes her own monstrous plant things to finish the job. His friend screams for him to run as these massive plant things erupt from the ground, but Lin Luo just hits the boss lady with a mental confusion spell, which leaves her completely baffled for a split second. And in that moment, our boy closes the distance, shocking her that a priest would rush in. Her vines instinctively lash out and wrap around his entire body. He's getting absolutely crushed, screaming as dark energy surges around him. This green-haired woman just cackles, thinking she has already won the fight, until she realizes something is definitely not right with this picture. Turns out her werewolf minion is on the ground, asking why she attacked him. She immediately blames Lin Luo, pointing the finger with zero self-awareness. Lin Luo calmly figures out he was hit with a mind control spell, not some basic priest trick. He even gives her credit for using a feint to make him fall for it so easily. Now she is absolutely furious that he made her kill her own guard, so she unleashes a massive wave of ice and thorns to end this. This tidal wave of pure destruction barrels right towards the duo. This whole landscape just explodes in a storm of jagged ice shards. While his friend panics, Lin Luo just tells him to wait it out. She will be the one to die. She is busy taunting him from afar, asking where his fancy skills went. Her attack crashes down with overwhelming force, demanding to see his arrogance. And for the third time, she is just staring in utter disbelief, completely confused. This green-haired woman is horrified to realize she has been hit with a virus. And it was delivered by this adorable little plague kitty, Perfect. Her consciousness just fades as her body starts to give out. Dissolving into dust, she has no idea how she lost so completely. His buddy is losing his mind, but Lin Luo just confirms she died confused. Our boy then turns his attention to the other brawl happening nearby, which is currently a massive explosion of angry energy. This lion family messenger decides to help the werewolf because priorities. So he blasts the werewolf with a huge fiery attack. Wait, what? He is absolutely furious the werewolf got distracted by him helping. This monster tries to block, insisting he was paying full attention, but the orange-haired guy is just screaming in his face, completely unhinged. Suddenly, the werewolf clutches his stomach in a very awkward pose, wondering why it feels like a flood is about to break loose in his guts, and in that moment he knows exactly what kind of flood it is. This werewolf just bolts, screaming for a bathroom, a true emergency. Our orange-haired protector yells at him not to run away, and unleashes his ultimate attack on an empty battlefield. He then declares victory, ready to go help Lin Luo. What a hero. Meanwhile, Lin Luo's already won, leaving his friend to wonder what just happened. This lion family guy is still trying to process how a student just soloed the strongest fallen. And just then, the entire dark mist dimension shatters apart. A new guy in a suit appears, demanding to know Lin Luo's profession. Lin Luo just casually replies that he is a simple priest, nothing special at all, which is immediately followed by a massive holy explosion naturally. This new guy gets absolutely flattened priest style, just as his official bodyguards finally arrive on the scene ready for action. One of them realizes the dark mist is already gone, leaving him totally confused. They both assume their target is dead and prepare for a revenge mission. A little late, boys. Then the mist clears, revealing Lin Luo standing over a pile of defeated fallen. His bodyguards are just staring, completely speechless at the carnage. All three of the famous fallen members are confirmed dead on the ground. Lin Luo just turns around, asking who the heck these new guys are. They introduce themselves as his protection detail, demanding to know what happened. Meanwhile, the lion family guy just dips, leaving them to figure it out. This guardians press Lin Luo for answers about the fight, but his friend quickly jumps in, giving all the credit to the lion family's protection. These two bodyguards are just silent, trying to make sense of this story. Lin Luo just smirks, totally selling the lie, so they just tell him to go home and be careful, completely clueless. As they walk off, his friend asks why he did not call out the bodyguard's obvious lie. One of the guardians just lights a smoke, saying their job is protection, not interrogation. He then inspects the green-haired woman's body, realizing she was a high-ranking Night Watch member. This whole situation is now officially above their pay grade, time to report it. Meanwhile, his buddy is totally starstruck, having just met actual guardians for the first time. Lin Luo gives him the quick rundown. Guardians are the kingdom's elite, professional enforcers. Their purpose is not just to protect people, but also to restrict them. And it turns out there is a ton of bad blood between the freewheeling professionals and the strict guardians. His friend starts panicking again, worried that the poisonous elder is still after them. But Lin Luo is not concerned. Top-tier threats cannot just stroll into the city like this. This buddy points out he is not invincible, but Lin Luo just pulls out his phone, admitting they should be careful. He gets a text from Lion Yining, who is freaking out after hearing about the fallen attack. She is asking if he is okay, and he just casually replies that he is perfectly safe, a master of understatement. Elsewhere, a deputy city guard gets a grim report. 35 new recruits were attacked and 7 are dead. This body count for the fallen is 27, with a bunch more captured or on the run. This old official looks absolutely furious hearing about the 7 dead students. It is not just the number that bothers him. The fallen specifically targeted the best of the best. Just then, the bodyguard arrives to report on Lin Luo's little incident, confirming he is safe and the enemies are wiped out. This old man just gives this incredibly smug, all-knowing look, and then congratulates the bodyguard for a job well done, giving him full credit for the win he completely missed. This new guy immediately throws Lin Luo under the bus, claiming he killed the fallen leader. This whole room just gasps. A rookie professional took out a major fallen boss, so the old official demands the full story, looking seriously unimpressed. His informant explains Lin Luo's crew was weak, making him the only logical suspect. Then the autopsy report confirms the werewolf died from an axe and a catastrophic case of diarrhea. This old man just nods, figuring if Lin Luo can cook up the Black Death, explosive bowels are just a Tuesday. They also confirm the boss lady died from a virus after accidentally killing her own confused minion. With all the evidence laid out, the guy declares Lin Luo must be a secret * dark priest. Another official warns against making assumptions, but the theory is gaining traction. To make things worse, the dead fallen was related to the poison elder, who is now gonna want blood. But the deputy city guard just scoffs, promising to personally break the elder's legs if he shows up. Elsewhere, a girl argues with her dad, insisting she likes Lin Luo despite his rank. Her father is having a meltdown. She is already engaged to the heir of Serpent Island. She completely ignores him, declaring she only wants Lin Luo, period. Her mom steps in, telling the dad to let her be happy and not repeat a past mistake. This argument ends, leaving a tense silence hanging in the rainy air. Meanwhile, Lin Luo and his friend are just strolling into the next school event, where a drone announces the start of the individual challenge. This rules are simple, a one-on-one tournament to find the top 16 fighters, and a new challenger appears looking like the final boss of this entire school year. Tang Cheng is bragging he will not get eliminated in the first round, all thanks to Lin Luo. His friend then calls this girl sister-in-law, which makes her blush like crazy. She's just thrilled that Lin Luo overheard and did not seem to mind one bit. Just then, a blonde woman in a fancy dress walks up to introduce herself. Her name is Murong Zuhin, and they shake hands in a very formal meeting. She immediately invites him to raid a new dungeon for a first clear bonus. It is a low-level dungeon that drops a job transfer book, a rare opportunity. While she is fantasizing about them falling in love, Lin Luo just says no, which leaves her completely floored, asking why he'd possibly refuse her offer. Lin Luo explains he has already done his job transfer, making him ineligible, a total power move. This system shows he is already in the Black Iron realm, way past the starting line. This news absolutely shatters her reality. No one's ever done that this early. Suddenly, some guy in a fur coat storms in, accusing Lin Luo of seducing his fiancée. Murong Zuhin immediately shuts him down, saying her family never agreed to anything. Then another rival appears, promising to make Lin Luo beg for mercy in front of Yining. Our boy just calls him a pest he needs to swat away, leaving the guy speechless. This tournament bracket finally appears on screen with matchups randomized. Both rivals are now promising to make his life a living hell in the arena. His friend's friend gets worried, but Lin Luo just tells her to trust him. He remembers this guy from the trial tower and promises to absolutely destroy him. This tournament kicks off with Lin Luo facing a guy with a comically large hammer. This dude Zhang Kai blames our boy for his failure in the trial tower and is out for revenge. He charges in, confident he can smash the fragile priest before any poison kicks in, a classic blunder. Suddenly, a suspicious gurgle echoes from deep within his armor. Lin Luo just smirks as his opponent freezes, hit with a sudden, catastrophic case of diarrhea. This poor guy just cannot hold it, unleashing a toxic green cloud of pure defeat. His attack immediately takes out the entire front row of the audience, who are gagging from the smell. Someone even compares the stench to a dragon's droppings, wondering what kind of nightmare skill this is. This announcer, barely holding it together, declares Lin Luo the winner and begs for a cleanup crew. Up next, Lin Luo faces his other rival, the guy who swore to make him suffer. This new opponent comes prepared, immediately popping a status-resistant scroll. Then he chugs an entire pharmacy's worth of antidotes just to be safe. With his cheeks full, he dares Lin Luo to bring it on, all thanks to his rich backer. Lin Luo just calmly points out that the gear is way too expensive for a guy like him. Then he unleashes a level 7 version of his instant bowel cleanser, promising no potion can stop it. This rival's face shows a man fighting a war on two fronts and losing the internal one badly. And boom, another green explosion rocks the arena, a repeat performance for the horrified crowd. Thankfully, the audience learned their lesson and brought gas masks this time. This cleanup crew gets to work with buckets and mops, probably demanding a raise. They are desperately trying to air out the arena, which has become a certified biohazard zone. This crowd is absolutely losing it, demanding Lin Luo's signature move be banned for being too disgusting. Fists fly in the air as they chant for a ban, calling it environmental and eye pollution. This news reaches the deputy city guardian, who is told a powerful family is also lodging a formal complaint, and the old man just casually agrees. Haha, alright then, ban it, without a second thought. He knows damn well you cannot take down the fallen with just a bad stomach bug. This is just his excuse to see what other tricks Lin Luo has up his sleeve. So an official announces the diarrhea loose skill is banned, and Lin Luo's haters are celebrating their victory. But our boy just smirks, saying if they did not like his gentle methods, they are gonna hate the ruthless ones. His next match is announced. Yang Haoran versus Lin Luo. Meanwhile, the rival from before is loading up this new guy with resistance gear and potions. He is bribing him with a bright future for his family if he can force Lin Luo to go all out. His buddy asks if this guy can actually win, but the rival admits he is just a pawn to test the waters. And as for the pawn's life and death, he could not possibly care less, ice cold. In the arena, this new challenger taunts Lin Luo, saying he is nothing without his poop magic. He gets right in his face, bragging about being some rank magic swordsman. Then he unleashes a massive flame slash, trying to end it quick, only to be stopped cold by a sudden wall of pure ice. Lin Luo just stands there, completely unimpressed, asking if that is all a magic swordsman has got. Suddenly, our boy erupts with his own ice and fire magic, completely turning the tables, and the whole crowd is just stunned, realizing this guy is a close combat elemental powerhouse. This crowd's convinced the helpless priest is about to be toast. But Lin Luo just stands there, parting the flames like it is nothing. His opponent is absolutely losing his mind as Lin Luo promises it is payback time. Then our boy unleashes some kind of nasty-looking curse. For a second, the guy thinks his expensive resistance gear actually worked, until a sudden catastrophic itch starts in a very unfortunate place. Lin Luo just smirks, calling it a small skill and promising he has more. And by more, he means weaponized STDs. This is not a drill. His opponent is now in pure agony, scratching himself into a frenzy. Even the audience is horrified, watching him tear himself apart down there. In a desperate move, the guy freezes his own crotch to stop the itching. Our boy just mockingly asks if he is okay with his little brother freezing off. Fueled by pure rage and pain, the swordsman vows to kill him first. Yeah, we all know how this story is going to end. Lin Luo explains that freezing only delays the inevitable and gives him a little push. A wave of pure pain magic just overwhelms the poor guy. With that, Yang Haoran collapses, giving Lin Luo another win. Later in the infirmary, a doctor is scolding the unconscious kid for his reckless lifestyle. This guy wakes up just long enough to ask if his lower body can be saved. And the doctor's diagnosis is grim. Healing magic is useless, time to amputate. Yang Haoran is having a full-on nightmare, his mind just screaming, remove it. In his dream, he is back on the operating table right before the doctor makes the final cut. Back in the arena, the rival who set him up gets an urgent phone call. He is on the line with Yang Haoran, asking how he is doing with zero actual concern. and the news is apparently the worst possible. He is absolutely stunned it had to be removed. This grim update finally sinks in, and he vows to be extremely careful with Lin Luo. This gossip mill is already churning, with everyone agreeing on one thing: never ever provoke that guy. Meanwhile, in another arena, Murong Zuhin faces off against a new challenger. She is already in full boss mode, asking her opponent for any last words. Her opponent Li Mei snaps back, promising to wipe that smug look off her face. This threat just gets a little chuckle from Murong Zuhin, who is already powering up. Then she drops the classic line, "You are either overestimating yourself or underestimating me." To prove her point, she reveals a massive pair of angel wings, showing the true power gap. But Li Mei is not backing down, launching a desperate barrage of exploding flame balls. This fiery attack closes in on her in a massive wave. She just dismisses the whole thing as insignificant, not even flinching. With a single move, she unleashes the holy light of judgment, which just completely swallows the entire flame attack like it was nothing. This fight is over in an instant, revealing Murong Zuhin is a rare S-class angel, and the crowd is just floored, admitting it was not a fight, it was a one-sided beatdown. Li Mei's on the ground but still will not yield, spitting defiance at Murong Zuhin. Murong's response is to hit her with some holy light compulsion. A moment later, Li Mei's eyes are glowing, total puppet mode. She is immediately on her knees, calling Murong master and awaiting orders. Her new master wants a full intel report on some guy named Dongfang He ASAP. This compulsion will last 72 hours, more than enough time for some forced espionage. And with that, the first round of the tournament officially wraps up. This top 4 seeds are revealed, and they now have to defend their spots against challengers. Back in the arena, Lin Luo finds himself standing with Murong Zuhin. This fur coat rival is also on deck, looking as smug as ever. A fourth guy in a green cloak completes the set of defenders, but Lin Luo's just standing there with the crowd wondering why no one dares to challenge him. Turns out the entire male population is terrified for their little brothers, demanding all his skills be banned. Lin Luo just smirks, musing that it is no surprise the last guy's junk broke. It is fragile after all. Finally, a challenger steps forward, barefoot and looking serious. He introduces himself as Fang Yuan and a class forbidden spell mage ready to fight. Our boy asks if he is not afraid, but the mage scoffs, sure he can block any perverted attack. This dude activates a skill, boasting he is invincible within a 3-inch radius and can resist anything. So Lin Luo just ignores that whole 3-inch rule and casts Earth Prison from way back. A massive sphere of earth spikes erupts from the floor, completely trapping the so-called invincible mage. Stuck in the prison, Lin Luo just mocks the guy for being a coward. His opponent starts weaving some complicated hand signs for a big spell. This dude shouts that he is a forbidden spell mage and is not afraid of a mere priest. Then he summons a massive thunder cage to fry Lin Luo and the prison at once. This crowd is absolutely losing it, sure our boy is about to be toast. But the mage is just getting annoyed, asking why he is not dead yet. Turns out Lin Luo is just chilling inside an ice shield, completely unimpressed. So our boy hits him with a curse called Alzheimer's disease. You read that right. This mage's brain just completely short-circuits, forgetting his own spells. A cute little spirit then pops up on his head to cast Skin Explosion, and just like that, the guy's body starts erupting, shocking the entire audience. Lin Luo just stands there, asking why he collapsed before the real fight even started. It is a total beatdown, leaving the mage in a bloody heap on the arena floor. Our boy is not done, taunting him to get up and show what else he has got. This mage struggles, admitting his next move will come at a terrible price. In the stands, everyone remembers what happened to the last guy's little brother. They are all terrified this guy's fate might be even worse than amputation. Hearing that, the mage immediately taps out, choosing to live another day. With that decisive win, absolutely no one else dares to challenge Lin Luo. Meanwhile, the other 3 seeds also defend their spots, advancing to the finals. This deputy city guardian is loving this, wondering just how many tricks Lin Luo has left. He is just imagining the meltdown from the old money families if a priest snags the prize, pure chaos. Meanwhile, a new cloaked creep shows up, sent to avenge his niece's death at Lin Luo's hands. Elsewhere, the fur coat rival is absolutely furious with Fang Yuan for tapping out so easily, but the mage insists Lin Luo is basically a raid boss way out of their league. After the matches, a trio of students walks through the city, decompressing from the day. This girl Li Mei is bummed about her loss, but her friend says it was just a bad class matchup. He asks why she picked such a tough opponent, and she just huffs, saying she hates losing to Murong. Turns out they used to be friends until Murong tried to rob her, so yeah, it is personal. Suddenly, a blonde finalist pops up, introducing herself to Lin Luo after her own loss. After that awkward encounter, Li Mei splits off from the group to head home. Lin Luo and his buddy continue on their way, crossing the street. His friend is already planning the victory party, telling Lin Luo he has to treat everyone when he wins. But their conversation is cut short when someone calls out Lin Luo's name. It is their teacher, and she says she has something important to discuss with him. She is inviting him to give a presentation to the younger students for being top of the class. Lin Luo's spidey senses are tingling. This feels way too much like a trap. He tries to bail, but she is not taking no for an answer, even offering to write the speech for him. She sweetens the deal with a meal, but as they cross the street, the mood turns dark. And just like that, they are ambushed by a squad of cloaked assassins dropping from the sky. This teacher immediately recognizes the ambushers as Fallens. She throws up a quick water barrier to block whatever's coming. Lin Luo grabs her, ready to make a run for it. He is already dragging her away, telling her to book it, but she rips her hand away, telling him to let go. Our boy realizes something's wrong. This is not his teacher, she is a fake. This imposter just stumbles and laughs, the trap fully sprung. Then her face literally starts peeling off, revealing the cloaked creep from before. He gloats about cloning the real teacher whose soul is about to be destroyed, and he is loving it. Lin Luo is just radiating pure, unadulterated rage. This villain promises to send him to meet her soon because of course he does. His friend jumps in to protect him, but the creep just scoffs at his speed. Undeterred, the buddy vows he is going to kill this guy. This villain finds this absolutely hilarious, mocking his current strength. From way up high, he declares that it is nowhere near enough. A massive attack comes screaming towards them, only to be blocked at the last second by a huge explosion of power. A whole new squad in white robes just dropped in to save the day. Their leader, a blonde dude with a cigarette, calls the villain out by name, and the villain confirms it is all for revenge. His niece was their last victim, and this grudge is not ending. This blonde leader of the rescue squad just casually lights a cigarette. He calls out the villain as Du Cheng and a class criminal, and is not at all impressed that he is just a clone. This villain and his goon squad just laugh, boasting they have killed plenty of guardians before. Lin Luo's friend immediately asks the most important strategic question: is the diarrhea spell single target or group cast? Meanwhile, Blondie lays out the plan. He will tag the targets, the team will control them, and Lin Luo is ready to go, confident his curses will shatter any of their shields. With that, both teams launch themselves into a chaotic rooftop battle. Their leader is already in the thick of it, parrying a nasty-looking attack in midair. And just like that, a fallen doubles over in pain. Guess we know what spell Lin Luo chose. Du Cheng instantly recognizes the attack, realizing it is that kid's skill. Turns out our boys got range, casting from way further back than they can handle. But the squad leader just smirks. This was all part of the plan. He yells for Lin Luo to keep the pressure on while sending another goon flying. One of the Fallens starts breaking apart, screaming that they came prepared for this. He fully transforms into a massive stone monster, declaring today is their last day. Lin Luo's brain goes into overdrive. The diarrhea curse is useless on a monster with no guts. This other cloaked goons start powering up too, each one taking on an elemental form. And our boy realizes the horrible truth. This entire enemy team was handpicked to counter him. Now facing a lineup of elemental titans, the rescue squad knows they are seriously outgunned. This villain leader drops to all fours like an animal, taunting Lin Luo by name. This villain leader is just radiating confidence, boasting he is prepared for everything. And with that, he transforms into a massive, snarling night hound. This beast lunges forward, yelling that Lin Luo's weird tricks are useless now. Both our boy and his friend are totally caught off guard by the sheer speed of the attack. Lin Luo shoves his buddy out of the way just as a massive claw strike rips through the street. His friend hits the deck, realizing he is completely outclassed and can only watch. Meanwhile, another elemental goon, this one looking like a mummy, is bearing down on Lin Luo cornered against a wall. He knows there is absolutely no way to dodge this one, and gets absolutely slammed through the building for his trouble. But he emerges from the dust, encased in a massive ice shield, clearly shaken but alive. Turns out his cold resistance blocked the worst of it, though the impact still rattled him. This mummy thing just laughs, gloating that their countermeasures make his skills useless. Lin Luo just smirks, thinking this guy is way too full of himself. Adopting his evil doctor persona, he promises what they have seen so far is nothing. This elemental scoffs at his tiny scalpel, a toothpick against a titan. So Lin Luo just grins, offering to perform a little test surgery to demonstrate. In a flash, the elemental's hand is just gone, leaving the poor guy wondering where it went. Du Cheng, still in hound form, is completely stunned. How is that even possible? With a mask now covering his face, Lin Luo coldly announces who is next on the list. Sprouting demonic wings, he swoops down on the terrified elemental as a new curse takes hold. Lin Luo announces the surgery is done. Congratulations, you're the first patient. He then hovers over the poor guy, asking if he is satisfied with the results. Du Cheng checks on his minion, who complains his mouth is now on his butt, making it hard to talk. This hound leader leans in for a closer look, and things are definitely not okay. This guy is totally paralyzed, and his only bright idea is to kill the caster to reverse it. Du Cheng is just super weirded out by this whole talking to a butt situation, but he figures as long as that scalpel does not touch him, he is golden. Lin Luo just points right at him. Yep, you're next on the operating table. Not taking that threat lightly, Du Cheng summons a whole new swarm of dark beasts. Suddenly, our boy is swarmed by demonic crows, realizing this villain is a summoner. This rescue squad leader screams for him to run. This guy's an S-class threat, clone or not. And Du Cheng just gloats, surrounded by his shadowy pet collection. That escape is impossible. But Lin Luo just scoffs at the idea. Who said anything about running? He gets this crazy look in his eye, asking if the villain enjoys raising monsters, because if so, our boy is more than happy to help with that. And just like that, all the dark beasts start freaking out, completely confused. His own summons are now tearing each other apart, and Du Cheng is losing his mind. It is a full-on monster civil war, a beautiful symphony of self-destruction. Even the rescue leader is just staring, completely baffled by this turn of events. Then two massive elementals, one earth and one water, just pop into existence, courtesy of Lin Luo. Lin Luo's brand new fire elemental towers over his very impressed friend. who is now his #1 fan, absolutely begging to learn the summon a giant fiery friend skill. Meanwhile, Du Cheng is screaming at his own monsters to stop their little civil war. But the curse is so strong, even he wants to jump into the mosh pit. Self-control is not a virtue here. This rescue leader takes advantage of the chaos, carving up one of the original elementals. He soars through the air, declaring that Du Cheng's time is officially up, only for the Hound villain to intercept him mid-flight for a dramatic clash. But a new voice chimes in, offering Du Cheng a special package of pain, and another guardian appears, wielding some seriously dark-looking energy of his own. Du Cheng gets blasted, whining that this is all so unfair because it is just his clone body. He realizes his whole counter squad is getting dismantled and real backup is on the way. So with his grand plan in shambles, he decides it is time to bail. This villain unleashes a massive energy wave to clear a path for his escape, catching the blonde squad leader right in the chest, who just grits his teeth, completely unfazed by the cheap shot. This leader yells that Du Cheng is running and tells Lin Luo to head home. But when he turns around, our boy is already gone, because he is already in the sky, wings out in hot pursuit of the villain. Du Cheng flees, fuming that the mission failed and vowing to crush Lin Luo with his real body. And he looks absolutely furious that a kid just completely ruined his entire evil plan. Du Cheng's hound form suddenly feels an unholy combination of boiling blood and a terrible itch. And yep, Lin Luo just hit him with the full medieval plague and STD combo platter. Our boy is just loving this, impressed the villain can even form words right now. He then wonders aloud what might happen if he just doubles the pain. Or better yet, quadruples it with a little help from his spirit friend. This curse slams home, leaving Du Cheng to just roar in absolute agony. Through the pain, he is still trying to make threats. It is not going well. This curse intensifies, pushing the clone's body well past its breaking point. With a final surge of dark energy, the hound form violently disintegrates, leaving nothing but a cloud of dust and fading dark magic in its wake. But a single mysterious dark pearl is left behind on the ground. Lin Luo lands, explaining the villain was too busy running to notice he was being cursed the whole time. He then spots the loot on the ground, a little confused. It is a high-grade space ring, and he immediately decides it is his now. Still, something about the orb seems off to him. Just then, the rescue squad and his friend finally catch up. This leader is absolutely floored. Our boy actually killed Du Cheng's clone. This whole squad admits he might even be a match for all of them combined. His buddy immediately points to the orb, asking what the heck he just picked up, and the blonde leader recognizes it with dread. It is a dark beast pearl. This leader explains the orb is a dark beast pearl, the very source of Du Cheng's power. Lin Luo's friend immediately asks the only question that matters: can we sell it for cash? With the debrief done, the squad officially invites our boy to join the Guardians. And the offer comes with some seriously sweet perks like professional status and free tuition. It gets even better with a house, a huge salary, and bonuses, the ultimate civil servant package. But Lin Luo politely turns them down, saying he is too much of a free spirit for a 9-to-5. He waves them off as his buddy chases him, still desperate to learn the monster infighting skill. And our boy just gives him the classic yeah, next time non-answer. This squad leader is just baffled, complaining that kids these days do not appreciate job security, while Lin Luo just smirks, completely unbothered by turning down a dream career. Alone now, he inspects Du Cheng's space ring, wondering what kind of loot is inside. And later that night, the political fallout from the battle begins to settle. This squad leader reports to a deputy city lord who is still processing Lin Luo's victory. He then has to deliver the bad news. Their star recruit turned down the job offer flat. This deputy lord immediately assumes it is because he has the backing of the powerful lion family, though the leader argues the family might just be betting on Lin Luo's insane potential. This old official is not buying it, predicting Lin Luo's temper will cause a clash with them anyway. He then decides the refusal was probably just simple prejudice against the Guardians, since their whole job is to maintain order, which means stepping on the toes of big families, who in turn use their power to control the media and run smear campaigns against them. This deputy lord whines that people think they are tyrants, but they are the only ones holding society together. But talent is talent, and he is dead set on getting Lin Luo on their side no matter what. His subordinate suggests a super invasive background check using a prophet, because privacy is for the weak. But the old man shuts that down fast, saying they have standards and that is a great way to make an enemy. He decides to handle the recruitment himself, dismissing the squad leader with a wave. This leader just bows his head, clearly used to this kind of top-down decision-making. Meanwhile, the deputy lord reviews a file connecting Lin Luo to the lion family, and he recognizes one of the names as an epic-level professional, the legendary Lord of Storms. This old guy has a sudden, dramatic realization, clutching his chest like he has seen a ghost. He then launches into a tirade about how the big families are just greedy cowards. Back at his place, Lin Luo is thinking about the Fallen and their organization, the Night Watch. Turns out they are a bunch of cults worshipping evil gods, with the Night Watch being a major player. And since he has already taken out 2 of their members, he knows this fight is far from over. Deciding to focus on power-ups, he finally gets around to opening Du Cheng's space ring. A whole galaxy of loot explodes out of the ring. It is Christmas for our curse-wielding boy. His eyes practically pop out of his head when he finds gold cards worth millions. He is filthy rich. This ring is also packed with tons of high-grade monster materials and other rare goodies. He then spots a mysterious mask with an unknown special function, which is always a good sign. But he wisely decides not to try on the creepy might cause a mutation mask just yet. Instead, he finds a scroll for a new skill, Bewitching, a straight-up mind control spell. Lin Luo decides the Bewitching Scroll is a perfect fit for his personality time to learn, and he unlocks Stockholm Self-Deception Syndrome, a skill for making very, very dedicated fans. He recognizes the term from his past life, now mutated into a full-blown self-deception curse. With a new psychological weapon in his arsenal, he is feeling pretty good about the upcoming tournament. This next day, the semifinals begin with the 4 strongest rookies ready to clash. But his friend runs up in a panic. His sister-in-law Yining is completely missing. Lin Luo tries calling her, but there is no signal and no answer, which is never a good sign. His buddy immediately assumes kidnapping, but Lin Luo knows nobody is suicidal enough to mess with the lion family. Remembering her powerful aunt, he decides to shoot her a message for help instead. Just then, his friend reminds him it is time for his match. The tournament waits for no one. Now in his battle gear, Lin Luo postpones the search, promising to deal with it after the fight. His opponent is a dragon knight who brought a giant, very angry-looking red dragon as his +1. This crowd whispers that the dragon is way stronger than before, probably thanks to some shady supplements. Meanwhile, a group of old men reveal the Dongfeng family basically bought their son's spot in the finals. They also note that Lin Luo, a commoner, is shaking up the big family-only party and has a growing fanbase, and that fanbase is screaming for him to absolutely wreck the arrogant rich kid, no pressure. A blonde spectator suddenly gets an urgent message through his earpiece, his expression turning serious. This news is huge. The head of the lion family has just left the city for the deep sea. This deputy city lord just smirks, having expected this exact move from the family head. He recalls a past conflict where that same man fought one of the 7 emperors. A much bigger game is afoot. This deputy lord explains how the lion family head once stole a sacred item to level up, using it to ascend to the epic realm and snag the title of Storm Lord. But the old official knows this guy is no hero, just a snake looking out for number 1. And it turns out there are 2 storm professionals who are destined to fight to the death for supremacy. So the family head is now using his own daughter as a political bargaining chip for an alliance. His subordinate is freaking out, knowing Lin Luo is going to lose his mind when he finds out. But the old fox already made a move, nominating a proxy to block the whole deal. His application just got approved, completely sinking the family head's marriage for power scheme. He admits he did it for Lin Luo, but also because he cannot stand seeing a father use his daughter like that. Meanwhile, back at the tournament, the giant red dragon is still absolutely losing it. Lin Luo just smirks, asking if it really wants to get humiliated in public again. Its owner promises it can have Lin Luo as a chew toy after the match starts, real classy. This crowd whispers that the dragon's grudge is personal since she is a female who got wrecked last time. Elsewhere, another family patriarch gets a bad feeling, sensing something is very wrong with Lin Luo. He just watches silently, waiting for the other shoe to drop. This referee screams start, and the dragon immediately lunges forward for the kill. But Lin Luo is already waiting, sword drawn to meet the attack head-on. He unleashes a massive wave of ice with a single, casual swing, which erupts into a colossal wall of frozen spikes, dwarfing the entire arena. This dragon knight just vaults right over the ice, diving down for a surprise attack. But the dragon knight's attack goes haywire, his face a mask of pure confusion, and he plunges his weapon straight into his own dragon's head. This crowd absolutely loses it, guessing he has been hit with an illusion. He desperately tries to apologize to his pet, swearing he was under a spell. But the dragon's eyes are glowing with a strange symbol, and she is not having it. Lin Luo just smirks while the rich kid panics about his contract seal breaking, so he powers up, ranting about how family money makes all the difference. Spectators gawk at his ridiculously expensive gear. Daddy's credit card was busy. Our boy just scoffs, challenging him to see if gear beats actual skill. But a curse is already creeping up the rich kid's leg. He just laughs it off, bragging he is vaccinated against every plague imaginable. Getting right in Lin Luo's face, he screams that his cheap tricks are useless now. Then he swings for the kill, and Lin Luo just sidesteps it like it is nothing. This guy is completely floored. How did he possibly dodge that? He cannot believe a priest is faster than a fully armored knight. Even the crowd is baffled, assuming he is using some kind of temporary speed buff. That family patriarch's aide suddenly notices something is very wrong with their boy. Because the dragon knight has just frozen mid-stride, surrounded by strange petals. Lin Luo calmly explains that while you can vaccinate for diseases, there is no shot for what he just did, and with a final smirk he tells the knight and his dragon to enjoy themselves. This curse kicks in, and the dragon knight starts seeing his pet in a very different light. He is blushing and giggling like a schoolgirl. This is getting uncomfortable fast. Because in his mind, his dragon has transformed into a seductive demon girl who is super into him. His hallucination gets way too personal, complimenting his gorgeous assets, and our boy Dongfeng completely loses it, lunging at his giant lizard for some playtime. This entire crowd just stares in absolute horror, processing what they are witnessing. He is now climbing all over his pet, while the audience calls him a pathetic creep. People are losing their minds, with one guy making the worst joke of the century about riding dragons. His dragon, however, is clearly not enjoying this one bit. But the rich kid is still lost in his fantasy, calling his imaginary demon lover annoying. He promises not to hurt her, a real bold move for a guy about to get mauled. His fantasy girl immediately decks him right in the face, but even that does not snap him out of it as he vows to keep trying. In reality, the dragon just swats him like a fly, sending him tumbling. A contract seal glows on her skin, the only thing stopping her from turning him into a red paste. Spectators realize her loyalty is the only reason he is still breathing. Meanwhile, that family patriarch from before is watching the whole disaster unfold from the stands. He turns to the blonde woman next to him, asking why she is even here. She casually mentions her match is done, and she is just here to enjoy the show, which she calls fantastic. She figures it has to be an illusion, one that is exposing his creepy private thoughts to the entire world. This patriarch tells the blonde woman he is canceling the marriage proposal, and she is absolutely ecstatic. She is just gleefully watching the Dongfeng family's reputation go up in flames. Back in the stands, the patriarch is fuming while everyone else is getting this disaster on camera. His aides desperately suggest forfeiting, but the old man is too busy cursing out his own son. He roars that only a win can fix this, which is some next-level denial right there. A woman with him offers to curse Lin Luo, but the patriarch points out that is a terrible, illegal idea. She just gives him this sly, confident smirk. Her actual plan is to cast a spell on Dongfeng to snap him out of the illusion. This patriarch is all for it, but she warns him the spell needs a little prep time. He is still convinced they can win, thinking Lin Luo foolishly targeted the dragon instead of the rider. Down below, Lin Luo gets a firm grip on the dragon's leg and hits it with a skin explosion curse, which is just as nasty as it sounds. This dragon tries to stomp him flat, but he is already moved, leaving the beast to roar in pure agony from the curse. Lin Luo is actually impressed by its stats, even thinking it'd make a great pet for himself. His new mind control skill is not triggering, so he decides to keep fighting before getting serious, all while Dongfeng is still giggling and reaching for his imaginary demon girlfriend. He finally makes his move, latching onto the dragon's giant tail for a hug. Just then, a glowing number 2 appears on the dragon's scales. And in his delusion, he is telling his fantasy girl to stop playing hard to get or else. Still lost in his delusion, he grabs his weapon with some very romantic intent, and he screams that he is absolutely going to have his demon girl today. Then he lunges forward with a move that is definitely not in any training manual, causing the entire crowd to just stare in slack-jawed horror, because he just stabbed his dragon directly in the butt, a real power move. This poor beast lets out a shriek of pure, agonizing violation. While up in the stands, the family's cursecaster confirms her spell to break the illusion finally hit. Dongfeng's eyes suddenly clear, the fantasy world shattering instantly, and his first words are, "Where's that big beauty? Oh, you sweet summer child." He looks at his dragon, and the horrible, horrible realization begins to dawn on him. Now he is desperately trying to explain it was all a big misunderstanding. But the dragon's eyes are glowing with a rage that says misunderstanding is not in her vocabulary. He is on the ground, completely terrified and still pleading with his pet. She just towers over him with a roar that promises a very painful death, but then her body starts to dissolve into particles of light, and she just flies away, leaving him screaming for her to come back. Spectators realize the contract seal is broken, the dragon has escaped for good. People are freaking out since that dragon was a priceless centuries-old family guardian. In the VIP box, the Dongfeng patriarch and his aides have seen enough. He just declares the match over, ordering his men to go get their family heirloom back. So the Dongfeng clan just packs up and leaves the arena. An aide reports their exit, and the old lion family head just laughs. He knows they are really chasing the dragon, which is now fair game for anyone. So he immediately sends his own guardians to hunt it down. Meanwhile, a creepy robed cult spots the flying prize, calling it a golden opportunity. Their leader is already eyeing its dragon crystal for a massive power boost, and she orders her own minions to get on it ASAP. Back in the arena, Dongfeng is just left panting at an empty sky. His face is pure rage as he blames Lin Luo for his epic failure, screaming his name like a classic sore loser. But our boy just asks why he is so loud. It is not like he owes him money. This pushes Dongfeng over the edge, charging forward and screaming about murder, unleashing some kind of ground-shattering attack in a blind fury, while the crowd just keeps roasting him for his unique hobbies. Every insult from the stands just fuels his humiliation, pushing him to power up with a golden thunder move, and he slams his fists down for one massive strike, which Lin Luo blocks with a giant ice wall without even breaking a sweat, leaving Dongfeng completely stunned that a priest just tanked his ultimate move, and Lin Luo just sighs, saying playtime's over because he is in a hurry now. Lin Luo just holds up his hand, ready to finally get serious, and summons his true weapon, a giant glowing scalpel, declaring this is over. This crowd absolutely loses it, realizing he has been sandbagging this entire time. Dongfeng just cackles, mocking him for bringing a doctor's tool to a night fight, but our boy just smirks, promising the laughter will stop very, very soon. He zips past in a flash, and Dongfeng does not even know what hit him. This rich kid looks around, thinking it was a total bluff since nothing happened. Then a strange energy hits him and he starts feeling different. His entire body begins to warp and change right in front of the whole world. And just like that, Dongfeng is now a woman, screaming at Lin Luo to change him back. He collapses to the ground, completely horrified by his new assets. His face, now very feminine, is a mask of pure rage and disbelief. Lin Luo calmly advises him to get used to it, even mentioning he will get his period now. What a savage. This final insult is too much, and Dongfeng just spits blood and passes out cold. With the rich kid unconscious, the announcer officially declares Lin Luo the winner. Up next is the final match, Lin Luo versus that blonde woman Murong Zuhin, but she looks terrified, telling her companion that they absolutely cannot fight him. This entire arena is buzzing, waiting for the grand finale to begin. Backstage, Lin Luo gets a text from an aunt about a missing person, making him anxious to leave. And just then, an announcement declares his opponent forfeited. Lin Luo wins the whole tournament by default. A crystal on Lin Luo's forehead glows with some serious power. And he just peace outs, telling his buddy Tang Cheng to handle the rest. Meanwhile, Murong Zuhin's team is debating if they should just quit. Her aide is shocked they'd give up after preparing for so long. But she is pragmatic, it is a 50-50 shot, and she has seen what his gender swap curse does. Her companion agrees, adding that a win would still ruin the family's reputation. And more importantly, her own perfect image cannot take that kind of hit. He lists off all her amazing qualities, saying she is too valuable to risk. She cuts him off, revealing the real play: it is better to befriend Lin Luo than make him an enemy. This guy just hopes this friendship is actually worth the forfeit. Back in the arena, the award ceremony begins, calling for the winner's speech. But the stage is empty, our boy is completely Mia. His friend Tang Cheng steps up with a cover story about an urgent emergency. This old lion patriarch just sighs, guessing he is off worrying about Yinning again. Turns out Lin Luo is with a mysterious woman reading a letter that was left for him. He is not buying the vague explanation, wondering why Yinning could not even send a text. This note just says she is off to Nine Snake Island and will see him in 2 months, real casual. He mulls over the mention of Imperial University, clearly suspicious of the whole thing, and demands the woman tell him if Yinning is actually in trouble. She just sips her tea, says sorry, and announces she has to leave 2 maximum evasion. Her reflection reveals her thoughts. Lin Luo is too weak for the truth. He is done with the games, telling her this conversation is over. But she stops him in his tracks, finally admitting she lied. Her parting shot is a warning, cherish Yinning's genuine love for him. Lin Luo just gives a cryptic smile and thanks her for the advice. Later that night, he is mulling over Nine Snake Island, a seriously powerful group, puzzling over its remote location and any possible link to the lion family. Then a strange energy pulse from his storage space gets his attention. He pulls out a creepy red mask that is acting up all on its own, which turns out to be a comms device with an urgent distress call for a deacon. So he puts on the Sumeru mask, a high-tech toy with some serious perks. While another masked user gets hyped about the young deacon creating an opportunity. Elsewhere, the newly female Dongfeng is unconscious in a healing pool, waking up just enough to mumble about her lost dragon pet. This family doctor gives the grim diagnosis: her mind is broken from the trauma. Worse, the gender swap is permanent without a root transplant, which is a whole new level of weird. This patriarch explodes, refusing any solution that taints the family bloodline. While his aides suggest marrying her off to a guy who is into that, peak problem solving right there. Dongfeng bolts upright, screaming she is a dragon knight who'd rather die than marry a man, and her father just roasts her, saying she is nothing without the family dragon she lost. Oh, and now she is tied up, already being groomed for a strategic marriage, family of the year. She is still screaming about being a man who definitely does not want a husband. An aide then reports the dragon's location, Pale Canyon, where a brawl has already started. This patriarch is furious that everyone's fighting over his property, ordering his men to retrieve it at any cost. She finally gets it, her family will just use her for all she is worth now. But she's got one last desperate plan: if the dragon still recognizes her, she has a chance. Meanwhile, Lin Luo arrives on scene in a desolate canyon marked by a flash of red energy. Yep, it is our boy, rocking that creepy red Sumeru mask. A lower-ranked member greets him, surprised to see a B-level senior, a Gold Realm powerhouse. This junior explains they were trying to snatch the dragon but got jumped by the Guardians. So Lin Luo just says he will go take a look himself. Back at the main brawl, a dark pool forms on the ground near some broken chains, and a massive, chained-up red beast begins to claw its way out. This thing is now fully summoned, roaring as a chaotic free-for-all erupts around it. Our boy is just chilling in the bushes, watching everyone go nuts over the now ownerless prize. But then he spots someone he knows in the middle of the fight, an old acquaintance. A skull-masked elder attacks a blonde warrior, yelling that his group found the dragon first. He goes for the kill with a massive flame dragon claw attack, total overkill. His attack absolutely craters the ground in a massive explosion of force, and he just stands there gloating, telling her they were once equals but now she is useless. This skull-masked elder tries to recruit the downed warrior, telling her to ditch the hero act, but she spits back that strength without purpose is just being a living corpse. Her eyes just burn with pure defiance, completely unbroken. So he decides she can just die for her ideals, powering up some nasty dark magic. A black energy spear flies right toward her face and slams into the ground, narrowly missing as she holds her ground. Just then, a Dongfeng family archer joins the fight, firing a golden arrow. This elder just scoffs, saying the dragon is finders keepers now. This makes the blonde warrior even madder that he is ignoring her mid-fight, so she unleashes her own massive attack, adding to the absolute chaos. From the bushes, Lin Luo watches the elder just style on everyone, loving the attention. He figures the fight's too hot to jump into, deciding to just watch the show for now. Then something else catches his eye. A new person is sneaking through the brawl and they look suspiciously familiar. And would you look at that, it is Dongfeng in all her newfound glory. She thinks everyone's too distracted to notice her reclaiming her pet, so she walks right up to the giant beast ready to sign a new contract. This dragon, however, is absolutely not having it and just starts roaring. Lin Luo facepalms, realizing the dragon remembers its last owner's hobbies and is freaking out. This Dongfeng archer finally spots her and just screams for her to run for her life. This skull-masked elder blasts Dongfeng with fire, telling an ant like her to back off. She gets absolutely torched, screaming for her dragon pet. Her day just keeps getting worse. His attack even forms a giant, screaming fire face because subtlety is for losers. And the dragon just roars, clearly not enjoying any of this. This elder realizes the beast is still loyal to its former master, deciding he will fix her himself. His underling gets nervous about all the other enemies, but the old guy is busy parrying the blonde warrior. Brushing off the warning, he tells his minion to go control the dragon, calling everyone else trash. This subordinate immediately takes off to follow orders. While a different group decides to just team up and take down the elder first. Someone else is trying to zap the dragon with a control device, but it is still thrashing. Watching from a safe distance, Lin Luo remarks that the fight is getting pretty wild, so he finally steps out, asking if the guys wrangling the dragon need some help. What a stand-up citizen. This beast is a multi-headed monstrosity, barely being held down by glowing red chains. One of the grunts begs the senior for help, and Lin Luo happily agrees to assist. He then unleashes a move called Skin Explosion, which sounds perfectly safe. Suddenly, the guy who asked for help starts convulsing in agony. He looks back at Lin Luo, totally confused about what is happening, and then his own allies turn on him, ready to attack. Yep, Lin Luo hit them all with a mental confusion ability, turning them against each other. This whole squad descends into chaos, screaming about betrayal while Lin Luo's plan works perfectly. With the grunts taken care of, Lin Luo just casually grabs the dragon's chain. He's not even polite about it, basically saying thanks for the pet, suckers. But then another masked figure appears, calling out the codename B-72. And this guy, the real B-72, goes absolutely berserk, screaming at Lin Luo to die. He immediately detonates in a massive explosion of pure rage. This blast carves a huge crater into the canyon floor. But Lin Luo is completely unfazed, standing over the downed B-72 and critiquing his speed cold. Our boy suddenly senses another threat approaching fast, just as the real B-72 gets tagged by a golden arrow from behind. It is the Dongfeng archer demanding justice for his fallen comrade. He is so focused on B-72 that he tells the other masked goons to get in line for their beatdown. Watching from the sidelines, the blonde warrior is confused why the night watch is imploding, noting B-72's familiar style. She starts putting it together. B-72 was Du Cheng's number, and Du Cheng was supposedly killed by Lin Luo, and it clicks. Lin Luo is the one in the mask, and suddenly he is way more interesting than the dragon. She immediately changes the plan, ordering her guardians to save B-72 at all costs. This real B-72 is having none of this, powering up with some seriously dark energy. He goes full-on demon mode, sprouting horns and cursing everyone in sight. Deciding to clear the board, he unleashes a massive attack on the guardians first. A huge wave of red energy washes over them, a total party wipe. And just like that, he's got the archer by the throat, ready to end him. After all that, the real B-72 just zips away in a flash of red, promising he will be back, leaving everyone else standing around completely baffled by what just went down. And then a new player enters the game. A Dongfeng family ancestor has arrived. He explains that thanks to some bloodline magic, he knows the guy who fled is the killer. His subordinate immediately demands they hunt down the murderer without delay. This blonde warrior recognizes him as Dongfeng Waiyu, a legendary powerhouse. This ancestor tells his guy to grab the corpse for parts while he goes to collect a head, so efficient. Distance, the main fighter, spot Lin Luo's group, marking another night watchman to deal with. But the blonde warrior drops a bombshell. The masked guy with Lin Luo is actually their undercover agent. This Dongfeng aide scoffs, questioning how a mere spy could climb to a B-class leadership role. She just brushes him off, saying the guardians do not answer to him, and grabs her agent to leave. Later, she is lecturing an unmasked Lin Luo, asking if he has any idea how much trouble he is in. She warns him it could have been a trap, but he just smirks, admitting he got caught. This two of them are having this little chat in a secluded rocky area, when suddenly the giant red dragon just appears, shocking the blonde warrior. Lin Luo, however, is completely unfazed, saying it looks like the dragon came to see him. Back on the battlefield, the Dongfeng aide is staring at a crystal trap, wondering how B-72 escaped. He figures the guy must be permanently dead, since a resurrection tool he provided was not used. Right on cue, his phone starts ringing, and the news is bad. The young master Dongfeng has committed suicide and his body is missing. This aide realizes the young master literally used suicide and rebirth to escape his skill. Talk about dedication. He just cannot believe someone would go to such lengths for a simple pet dragon. Meanwhile, the blonde warrior is warning Lin Luo that a dragon with a grudge is a terrible idea, but our boy and the giant red beast are just having a stare down. She then points out that weirdly the dragon does not seem hostile toward him at all. Reaching out, Lin Luo feels some kind of connection forming with the massive creature. He gently touches its snout and it seems to accept the gesture completely. A system message then confirms it. Stockholm self-deception syndrome activated because of course that is a skill. His companion is absolutely losing her mind, watching a proud dragon suddenly act like a lost puppy. Lin Luo just smirks that the dragon is obsessed with him while she tells him to hurry up and sign a contract. Turns out he's got a top-tier contract item ready to go, placing it right on the dragon's chest. And just like that, a golden symbol flashes, contract successful. He is now officially a dragon owner with his new friend looking pretty happy about it. Checking its stats, Lin Luo sees this young dragon is already stronger than a level 50 boss. This warrior explains the Dongfeng family basically force-fed it a ton of power-up elixirs. Our boy decides to name her Crimson, and she just purrs in response. Taking that as a definite yes, he immediately hops onto her back for a ride. He cheerfully announces a quick joyride, leaving his new ally completely stunned. As he flies off, she is on the phone reporting the unbelievable. Lin Luo just tamed the Dongfeng's prized pet. On the other end, the Dongfeng patriarch gets the news and absolutely refuses to believe it. This Dongfeng patriarch gets the full report, knowing his family will go ballistic over their stolen dragon. His main concern is that Lin Luo has no way to actually hide a giant dragon, making him a sitting duck. This order comes down: take Lin Luo to a remote base, drop off the dragon, and get him back to the city. Elsewhere, a lone flame burns on an altar, signaling a shift in scene. Turns out Dongfeng Waiyu failed, reporting that the killer had a trump card and vanished. Waiyu is furious, ranting that the Dongfeng family has never been so humiliated and someone must pay. His aide tries to calm him down, pointing out that at least he is alive to carry on the family name. This just makes him angrier, as he screams about not caring for the bloodline and asks if the guy can make a new dragon knight awkward. His new plan is to recapture the dragon, using the corpse to activate some kind of dark tracking magic. And somewhere else, the escaped killer is looking worse for wear, coughing up a storm. Yep, it is the young master back from the dead and cursing everyone from Waiyu to Lin Luo for stealing his pet. Just then, a creepy purple smoke monster pops up behind him because his day was not bad enough. This spooky smoke ghost, Dark Mist, gloats that it saved him from Waiyu, and the kid is just grateful. Of course, the favor has a price and Dark Mist wants to collect now, but the young master plays the I am a cripple card. This smoke monster just scoffs, offering him a brand new arm from a dragonborn, promising it'll be a major upgrade. He asks what is the catch, and the job offer is simple: be its mole in the night watch and go fetch something. His only response is a stunned what, clearly not the career path he envisioned. Dark Mist basically says you are hired, anointing him a follower and leaving the details for later. And we cut back to Lin Luo, finally home and stretching like he did not just cause an international incident. Our boy is holding a fancy box, casually mentioning he picked up a prize from some guy on the way home. Lin Luo opens his prize, greeting the world's wonder inside. He sits down at his desk, ready to finally check out his new loot, and a bright blue light immediately blasts out of the box. Inside is a googly-eyed slime, a conceptual creature born from colliding worlds. He is completely baffled that this legendary treasure is just a living blob. This little slime purrs, even projecting a cuter form on his shoulder. A system message then warns him to be careful because this thing might eat him. Just then there is a knock at the door from a Guo Shaoyi. Lin Luo opens up to find the deputy city guard senior waiting for him. This old man immediately scolds him for playing with such a dangerous artifact, but the little slime creature gets super defensive and angry at the visitor. Realizing his mistake, the senior offers a small gift as an apology, and the little guy just gobbles it right up, problem solved. With that settled, the old man invites Lin Luo to join the Guardians. Our boy immediately turns him down, saying he has no interest in joining, but the senior expected that, offering a special guest membership instead. This honored guest gig is basically a freelance position for pros who hate rules. He pitches it as total freedom with big rewards for occasional special missions. Lin Luo admits it is tempting but wants to know why they want him specifically. This old guy says it is simple: he is betting on Lin Luo's massive potential. This old man makes his final pitch, saying this is the best deal Lin Luo is ever going to get. After a beat, our boy finally cracks a smile and agrees to join. Absolutely thrilled, the senior immediately hands over the official honored guest token and badge. One lets him command guardians and the other is a pocket dimension for pets. Talk about a welcome package. Lin Luo just smirks, realizing these are the exact tools he needed right at this moment. He then holds up the googly-eyed slime, asking what this world's wonder actually does. This old guy basically says, "You are too weak to get it, kid, come back in a few years." But the system reveals its true purpose. It is a key to a legendary realm, and Lin Luo's jaw just drops. He explains this thing was a prize fought over by all the top families, originally snatched from some deep-sea aliens. To avoid an all-out war, they just had their kids compete for it in a high-stakes exam. And the senior just cackles, absolutely delighted that Lin Luo, a total nobody, snatched it from under everyone's noses. Our boy points out it is broken and needs a time-space gap for repairs, asking what the heck that is. Turns out this gap is actually a super rare material found in monster lairs guarded by powerful bosses. He lists a few casual spots to find it: outer space, dungeons, the starry sea, a quick weekend trip. This senior immediately warns him not to even think about going, but Lin Luo's smirk says otherwise. Changing the subject to something less deadly, he asks about college plans. He recommends Imperial University, casually mentioning a rival's son will be there as a political hostage. That name, Nine Snakes Island, gets Lin Luo's attention. His friend Lion Yinning is there. This old guy just calls him out, saying stop pretending you are just friends and promises she is safe. Lin Luo immediately asks if he can use his new guardian perks to send her a letter, and the deal is sealed. A rainy night falls over the city after the old man's eventful visit. Inside a car, the senior guardian is quietly mulling things over. His blonde subordinate confirms Lin Luo joined, but adds she saw his weird little pet. This old guy is completely stumped by the slime. It eats crystals but is not an elemental. He just smiles, realizing the kid is an absolute treasure trove of secrets. Meanwhile, Lin Luo has become a full-blown celebrity with his face plastered on every billboard. Our boy is just trying to walk down the street, but his newfound fame is making that a little difficult. Then a fan mob swarms him, asking for autographs and a cure for constipation. His female fans get even bolder, asking about girlfriends and rumors he can enhance certain assets. Lin Luo is just completely horrified by the absolute nonsense being thrown at him. He tries to make a break for it, claiming he has urgent business elsewhere. This fame is getting way out of hand and the rumors are just getting wilder. All he wanted was to shop for a new weapon since he is level 40 and still using a starter staff. But even in a different part of town, he cannot escape the attention. Now the guys are begging him for help with their love lives. The pressure is immense. Suddenly, a powerful voice cuts through the chaos, silencing everyone instantly. An elegant blonde woman appears, telling the fanboys to show some basic decency. She steps in front of Lin Luo, announcing they have a date and warning everyone to back off. This crowd immediately scatters, recognizing the eldest daughter of the powerful Murong family. Lin Luo is just grateful for the save, while she acts like it was no big deal at all. She asks why he is shopping solo, and he just explains he needs a gear upgrade. Hearing this, she immediately offers to recommend a good spot, which of course is her family's high-end shop where she can hook him up with a discount. Lin Luo takes a look around, seeming impressed for all of 5 seconds. Then he starts complaining that all the gear is low grade and he cannot find any gold-level weapons. The nerve. She explains that only the super rich get gold-tier items without even trying. So she makes her pitch, join the Murong family for unlimited loot, but he is not interested in being tied down. While she acts disappointed, she casually mentions his connection to the Lion family might get messy. Our boy immediately catches the hint, realizing she knows something critical, and she drops the bombshell. His friend Yinning was forcibly taken to Nine Snake Island for marriage. Lin Luo is absolutely livid, learning Yinning was taken and kept it a secret so he would not worry. It is revealed Yinning's own father used her as a political bargaining chip. But thankfully someone powerful intervened, delaying the marriage by forcing the groom to attend university. He connects the dots, realizing it was the old guardian senior Gu Shaoi pulling strings for him again. Having laid out all her cards, she asks if they can finally be friends, a very transactional friendship. Lin Luo admits the price is high but shakes on the deal because an ally is an ally. Now that they are friends, she calls her aide over to bring out a little welcome gift. This old attendant summons a powerful item with a magical flourish. It is a ridiculously overpowered level 40 epic staff with corpse-controlling abilities. Lin Luo is just floored, completely shocked she'd give him something so valuable to secure their friendship. She explains this staff is a family-only item, but he is a special friend. Our boy admits he is short on cash but offers to pay with other materials, and now they are on a first-name basis. This friendship is moving fast. So after a quick garage sale, he snags the staff for a friendly 800k gold. Then he blows the rest of his cash on a massive gear-up montage. After his shopping trip, he heads to the remote base to pick up his stolen dragon. Now on Dragonback, his new mission is to find a heart of the territory to fix his slime. And with a dramatic point, they fly off to their next destination, quest time.